sec.
It's going to be a static image for the moment, but it'll have audio playing at least.
Sounds good so far.
And how's our volume compared to the game?
Pretty good. I'm a little bit loud. You're a little bit quiet. Welly, go ahead and speak.
Give me 1 second, yeah. How am I sounding? Am I sounding okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay, give me 1 second here to adjust some volume stuff. So I've turned you down to 80 in Discord, and I'm going to go to my software mixer and turn myself up a little bit. We'll do like 2 decibels. All right, how's volume comparison now? Am I better, and are you better?
Well, let's see how I sound now. Yeah, it sounds okay.
All right, we'll get rolling here. So thank you once again for joining us for another Sunday afternoon SoundGoblin Storytime here on SoundGoblin Gaming Channel. So last week we wrapped up our playthrough of the first Danganronpa game, so now it's time to jump back into the Zero Escape series. I am, as always, Bogrider Josh.
I'm Shu.
And I'm the Krampus.
And yeah, as you can see here from the splash image up on the page here, just advance warning, and I feel a little weird giving advance warning in a game that's basically about a horrible murderous death game. But yeah, there's suicide in this game, like a lot of suicide. It's a major plot point of Virtue's Last Reward and kind of the backstory of it. It'll come up a lot and be displayed a lot. Not so much necessarily in the first few episodes here, but as we start getting towards some of the endings, a lot of them involve various characters in the game committing suicide, and just in general, a lot of the game's backstory discusses suicide. So if that's something that, you know, sets you off, that you're uncomfortable with, just please be aware it is a major thing in this game. That being said, let's get rolling here. Let's turn off of that. So, Virtue's Last Reward is technically a sequel to 999 in a very loose sense. So the start of the events here is December 25th. So Christmas Day. Some stuff happens. And look, an old friend. So one thing I will point out here, you can see over here, our text box is labeled as Sigma. Now, you may be used to it from 999, where everyone has these sort of code names like Santa and Seven and whatnot, and so that's why their names are a little weird and kind of stupid. Nobody in this game is using a code name. This character's name is literally Sigma Klim. Like, that's on his fucking birth certificate. One other thing that's going to be returning in this game, as you can kind of see down in the corner here, is our friendly what the fuck is this nonsense counter. We do have another counter that's replacing our Junpei as an idiot counter, because fortunately Sigma here, our main character, is actually not all that much of an idiot. He's a lot more reasonable than Junpei was from 999, and yeah, as a whole, pretty alright main character. There's still some elements of him sort of not getting things that is sort of necessary, obviously, to driving the narrative in a puzzle game to allow us the time to figure stuff out. But for the most part, if it's not kind of tied to, you know, a puzzle or a plot point, he's usually pretty on top of things and is pretty reasonable, pretty intelligent guy. To replace that Junpei as an idiot counter, we have this fuck Dio counter. Dio is a character we will be running into later on. I'm going to adjust positioning on that since the layout of this game is a little different than 3.9. Dio is a character we'll be running into later on, and he's a shithead. just the nonsense counter as well, so it's kind of not lingering on top of that menu button there. So we had some sort of black and white kind of flashbacky stuff there, and then we find ourselves in an elevator. One other notable thing about this game, as you can see here, is the characters have been replaced from the sort of anime cardboard cutout-y art style we had in 999 with actual 3D models. So Sigma tries to hammer on the elevator buttons. Nothing works here.
I'm plenty friendly. I said I'm plenty friendly. Don't know.
So again, Sigma is not actually, like, slow on the uptake.
It's so rare.
Sigma. No, you haven't. I don't have any idea who you are. But... how the hell am I supposed to know? I just know it, okay? Shut up! Just back off, Grandpa. Look, I just don't know, alright? It's just kind of there. Like, I looked at you, and some part of my brain just said, that's Sigma. What do you think this thing is? This bracelet?
So another returning friend here are the bracelets from 999, but as you can see, these are a little different. This one, they're all black, and this one says 3 pair.
See, you've got one too. They're pretty much identical. It was on already when I woke up. I haven't figured out what it's for yet, though. No. It's just got a 3 and the word pair. What are you doing? Good luck. I spent a while trying to get mine off while you were napping. It's on pretty tight. Doesn't even have a clasp or anything. I pressed them, but nothing happened. Not even a beep.
Well, so you've got to press them in a specific sequence, which will then open a secret compartment in the bracelet. As far as I'm aware, that does not actually come up in this game.
Hey, look! There's something on that screen over there.
How are you feeling?
Ah!
I am Zero the Third.
It's Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, so this is Zero the Third. This is, effectively the Zero running this particular death game.
A rat?
I'm sure you got lots of questions. It just seems silly to have a big old chit-chat right now. So...
By the way, as you can tell, this game is almost fully voice acted. I didn't feel like looking up voice actor information. This game isn't worth that effort.
I'm gonna give you a game to play! Yes, yes, yes! And I'm calling it the Nunnery Game! Ambidex Edition! There's more to it! Lots more! But if I told you now, that'd be cheating. So, hurry up and get out! I'll be waiting! Oh, all right, I forgot to tell you the most important thing. This elevator you're in, it's gonna fall in a few minutes. Way down. Yes, indeedy. So you'd better get moving. I'll see you later. Have a nice trick.
Oh, I get it. Trip and trick, huh? I don't want to die here any more than you. Let's go.
Seek a way out. So we return to the similar structure of 999. We've got the escape portion and the novel portion. Goal of the escape portion is escape from whatever room you're in, hence why it's called the escape portion. Now, the thing that's interesting, unlike 999 where we had static angles we would travel between, we are actually in effectively a 3D environment here. So we can actually rotate the screen in order to look from basically any angle at the stuff we see here.
Interesting. It's a three-dimension.
Welcome, Vince.
Also, hello. Yep.
Yeah, so when we click on things that we find of interest, we'll go into this zoom mode. We can get out of zoom in a few different ways. Primarily, I'm going to be clicking the triangle on the bottom there. So we've got a fire extinguisher over here. That's just telling us some stuff about the menu. So in the menu here, there's hard mode and easy mode. We're going to play on hard. Hard is technically the default mode of the game. It's mostly just puzzle difficulty. However, the other difference is every puzzle in this game has two solutions. There's the solution for getting out of the escape room puzzle, and there's the solution for getting the extra file. If you're playing on easy mode, you get the silver file. If you're playing on hard mode, you get the gold file. Those files, what they do is provide more stuff here. So you see here, there's a tab called Secret in the archive. These secret files are unlocked by getting the silver and gold files. The gold files get you more than the silver files do. We will be getting as many of the gold files as I feasibly can. I don't actually know all the secondary solutions to these puzzles offhand. But we will not be looking at pretty much any of the gold files until the end of the game, because a ton of them are spoiler as shit. We also have quite a number of help files already in it, but they're just kind of similar stuff that's going to pop up already. Some other additions that this game has made. We have a memo now. We can actually draw on the screen. We also have 2 pages of this. As you can see here, we got 01, 02. So we can make separate notes for things and help us solve some puzzles if we needed to overlay stuff, things like that. And one other thing to bring up, I'm not going to go for a 100% playthrough of this game. I'm just not. If you'll remember, 999 had the flowchart, which was something that was added in the remake version, the remaster version of 999. and it showed you the paths to like the 6 or so endings. Here's the flowchart for Virtue's Last Reward.
That's a bit.
Yeah. And most of these are not of any real significance, honestly. But, yeah, so as you can see, we can kind of look around the elevator we're in here. Over here, we've got a baby and some buttons. Over here, got an old man and some buttons. Over here, we got a rabbit and some buttons. Fire extinguisher, can't really do anything with that, but we got the fire extinguisher box over here. But the fire extinguisher box is locked. So again, another note for some of the later puzzles, I'll probably give us opportunity to kind of get some work here. But here's the fire extinguisher pin, which actually happens to be a key. As you can see, the inventory interface is a little different as well. Rather than just being kind of a menu that pops up that has all the stuff listed to the side, we actually have a sort of rotating ring we can cycle through. We have a button to examine things closer. We can rotate items freely, and we have that old combine button again. So if we have inventory items we would like to combine, we can do that. Up here in the top, we see whatever item is currently active in our hold. But as I was saying, and yeah, here's the little thing that tells you, oh, this is where the key is. It actually just gives you that straight out. This first puzzle, I'm just going to kind of solve on my own. Later puzzles, I'll probably take input, let you guys try and work through them. But this one, for the most part, is pretty straightforward. So, we get a bunch of socket tips, and it will give them to us one at a time. So we've got a triangle, a square, a pentagon, and a hexagon. Now if we come over here, you'll see we've got this vent screwed on by 4 screws that match to those shapes. Believe me, I have tried. The game will not, in fact, let you just use the screw tips on the thing.
Oh.
As you can see, we've got these 4 colored handles on the bars next to the buttons, which also happen to coincide to the colors of the screws on that panel. So we come over here, we can see yellow is triangle.
Fine over there. Yeah.
There we go, tip. Blue is square. Just so you know, I'm going to go the wrong way in the inventory management screen a lot because my brain does not wrap around the, like, ring navigation. just doesn't. Pretty much any time I have to open it up to do something like this, it's going to take me 2 or 3 times before I get it right. Also, yeah, the game will just sort of clean stuff out of inventory once it's no longer of any use. Which again is not different than 999, but it's always something nice when like an adventure or puzzle game will take care of that for you rather than having to leave your inventory clogged with a bunch of shit. You have no idea whether it's going to be of any use or not.
Do I
Yeah.
still need this? Is it done? Can I toss it?
So once we open
So I
that
did
up,
some. Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I did some lookup on voices.
Yep.
So Sigma, when he's voiced, is voiced by Troy Baker. Troy Baker is Troy Baker. Needs no introduction.
Yeah.
Spy is voiced by Karen Strassman.
I
Karen
certainly have no
Strassman-
idea who Fi is. The person you must be talking about, that mysterious girl.
Well, she's been labeled as Fi in the
Something.
text box.
No, she hasn't. Still refers to her as girl.
Oh, shit.
Eh.
Well,
It actually does not label her as Fi until she tells you her name is Fi. But that's okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
And yeah, don't give any further
come
names
on.
until we run into characters.
Yeah. My bad. I thought I caught it out of the corner of my eye that she was actually labeled as that. Anyway, so, Mysterious Girl has gone between doing secondary voices for a bunch of stuff, but she was also Nanako Dojima.
She's also a returning favorite because I'm pretty sure she was one of the voices from Sakura Wars So Long My Love.
Yes, she was Diana Caprice.
Yep. So this thing here, this is our first real sort of mini game for a puzzle here. Our object is to get the green box over to the blue box. There are actually different ways of doing this. I happen to know a specific one, so we're just going to go with the one that I know.
Side puzzle.
Yep.
Now again, these puzzles give you extra hints if you're on easy mode, but we're going to stay on hard mode. So we got a green memory card out of that. What that's actually used for is, we haven't actually taken a look at it, but over here, there's this machine with the 3 slots for memory cards. The other 2 memory cards come by virtue of the button puzzle over here. Also, as you can see, there's a little thing here with a lock and a panel behind it. The one elephant in the room I've been obviously avoiding.
Is this elephant?
Is this poster. Which goes in our file. Again, just like before, it'll always kind of give you some text. Yeah, life would be infinitely happier if we could only be born at the age of 80 and gradually approach 18. So as you may guess, this is our clue for the button puzzle. We need to count the number of old people and the number of babies that are present on the poster. So just to demonstrate, this is where it comes in handy to do stuff like using the memo. So, there are 7 old people.
No, there are 4 babies.
So when we press one of the buttons, it lights up. We were messing around with them before, and they didn't, but as Mysterious Girl here, certainly not Fi, points out, don't worry, she introduces herself in like 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
And ultimately, her name doesn't really mean much to us one way or the other anyways.
No, not particularly. Yeah, and as Shiv noted, there are 4 babies. But as she pointed out, because the game hadn't actually started yet, the buttons didn't do anything when we pressed them. So now we're over here with the rabbit one, the last button we gotta press. But there were no rabbits anywhere on the poster or anything. So, this is obviously a reference to, Zero there. Well, there's 2 different buttons we can push, and this is where the alternate solution for this one comes in.
Right. So both 0 and 3 are valid options.
Yes, so we press 0, but we also press 3, which gets us the other card. If you just go and press 0, you only get the one of them, and that is not what you're looking for there. So now that we have all 3 memory cards, we're about ready to do this. Now the thing about this is we do need to do this in a particular order. So as you can see here, we've got this password. Sun, sun, moon. Easy enough. So this actually just straight up tells us this is the hidden file password. Also, notably, in our archive, we do actually have this. It'll actually remember passwords we find for us. So we can always refer back to them, which is nice. And that is the escape password. So we've got escape password over here, hidden file password over here. Down here we've got this safe. Also, Fi is a fucking weirdo. Yeah, so what it's saying is every escape room has a safe somewhere in it. The safes always have 2 passwords, one for escaping, one for a hidden file. When you open the safe using the escape password, you'll get a key that will allow you to leave the room you're in. If you open the safe with a hidden file password in hard mode, you get a gold file. Easy mode, you get a silver file.
Fairness, every character in these games is weird.
So there's our first gold file.
They're all weirdos with an explanation fetish.
Yeah, so just to show, we now have all this stuff. Basically, I believe each golden file is 1 page worth of secret notes. But again, we're not going to look at these because, like, you can already see, like, it talks about quantum computers and, like, floor A graffiti, which are things we have not run into yet. Alright. The one annoyance, we do have to back out and go back in order to be able to put in the other password. However, as you can see here, one of the other nice things is right from the actual puzzle screen, we can access our archive, so we can just go and look and see if we didn't remember. Yeah, so what she's pointing out here is you can see there's actually a little, like, turntable inside the safe there with a false back, which explains why we are able to get 2 different items out of here while the safe still appears to mostly be the same.
Makes sense.
So now we've got this key we found in the safe. And the only place left to look is the place that was kind of pointed out a little bit before. Well, first the key actually opens this. But I can't quite see it because the game won't actually let you look up that much. But when we were first getting sort of the overview of this elevator, there was a hatch in the ceiling. If we open the panel, we get a big red button. This is a warning, basically, that once we leave this section, we're in the novel section. That's mostly just saying, like, if you haven't gotten the golden file, but you wanted it, well, too fucking bad.
Mm.
Just like sort of a, for future reference, make sure not to actually leave the escape section until you have the secret file, if you want the secret file.
The secret files are basically just more information on the game, I take it.
Yeah, so the secret files fill in a lot of backstory. They have more information about some stuff that's talked about in the game, things like that. So, like, quantum computer, for instance, is a thing that gets mentioned at a certain point in the game, but they don't really go very in-depth into it, like in the actual dialogue, so it's just more information in there.
Your shoulders?
So while Sigma isn't an idiot, he's more than a little bit of a pervert, just so we're clear on this.
I knew it. You sick bastard. Fine. On your knees. You're a little tall for me to just jump up on your shoulders. And I'm certainly not going to give you the satisfaction of making me climb. So kneel. Thanks. A little step up is just what I needed. Quiet. Here we go. All right, give me your
Hopefully we
hand.
know we're in a low gravity setting.
Well, I'm not Superman,
About
that's
that.
for sure. And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or Merman or a Wolfman. I'm not a Brahmin or Common or Ramen. I'm not a Cayman either, so you don't really need to worry about anything. My name is Phi. I guess you could say I am no man.
Ah, so you can kill the Witch King of Angmar.
Just
Yeah, as I said, Lord of the Rings.
one of these days, Witch King.
Well, you know.
Yeah, all the characters in this game are a lot weirder than the first one.
Yes, this game as a whole is a lot weirder than the first one, and frankly, with the exception of Dio, I like every character in this game. And you're not supposed to like Dio, so he works too.
Do we get more characters who are named after Greek letters? Or is it just these two?
No. And since you weren't here at the beginning, I will mention, Vince, just to let you know, every character in this game, those aren't code names. Those are their actual names. Our main character here, Sigma, his legal name, like as printed on his fucking birth certificate, is Sigma Klim.
And he hates his parents.
Sure doesn't look like an elevator shaft.
Oh,
Presumably.
he is far from the worst named character in this game.
Some kind of warehouse, maybe. Or a hangar.
Small typo there. Wrong kind of hangar. So as you can see, these are actually the rooms we were in here. They weren't actually like elevators in an elevator shaft. They're just little boxes.
Yeah. It wasn't going to go anywhere.
Metal boxes.
And turns out Zero the Third was just fucking with us. That there was no chance that
So
elevator
it
was
would
going to drop
seem.
down an elevator shaft that doesn't exist.
Forget it. Look. More people.
There are other people over here.
It had a door with a 9 on it.
Most
Oh, I guess we're
of
done
the-
already.
Yeah, most of the rest of the cast of the game here. Oh, and no, Nonary Game Ambidex Edition does not that simple.
Looks like an old guy, a young man,
So, old guy,
two
Young man.
girls, and
2 girls, and a kid.
they're all wearing bracelets.
So remember how I said that, like, Sigma Klim, our main character here, is not the one with the dumbest name out of all of them? That belongs to the kid with toasters strapped to the side
Probably
of his head.
safe to assume they're trapped here too.
Toaster head.
On the bright side, if you ever want toast.
Yeah.
No, we don't. I haven't been out here much longer than you.
They grabbed you too, huh?
It's an outfit.
Yeah.
By strictest definition, yes, that is an outfit.
Or
It's an
Lucas
effective
definition.
outfit. That bears some question.
At least he's a normal Texan.
So now we're kind of remembering what happened to us. We got in our car, went to start the engine, and white smoke erupted from
I
us.
think we all
from it.
shared that particular
Or
experience.
Native American,
The
or
smoke seems to be some kind of
exceedingly
general
few people who actually
anesthetic.
wear
When I woke up,
one
I
of
was
those
in one of
things.
these elevators. No!
I still marvel that his neck doesn't snap under the weight of that hat.
Mr. Dio and I were in the same
What are
elevator,
actually in those
but
things on the side?
I don't know. It's
Or are they
apple
just lead
juice.
blocks?
Look, he's obviously trying to keep himself from growing too tall. That is
That
weight
would be
training.
me. This little guy here is
Got a
Quark.
strong neck.
Or intentional spinal damage at a young age?
So again, I point out, not a fucking code name. This child's legal name is Quark.
nice to meet you, mister.
You can go into voice actor info on these characters as they come up if you want to, Krampus.
Yep. We'll double back and start with Zero. Zero the Third, our little rabbit friend, is Cindy Robinson. She's mostly the voice of Amy
Alice
Rose
and
in the
Luna all
modern
woke up in
games.
different elevators.
She's also been Queen Beryl in the Sailor Moon dub.
Okay.
Going through...
Well, let's start
Where-
with Dio
yeah.
since he's on screen here.
We'll start with Dio here. Dio is Liam O'Brien. Fairly well known in voice acting, but
That's also
Yeah,
an outfit. He's a fucking
yeah, he's
circus performer.
yeah, he was Gaara in Naruto. He's
Welcome to
Lloyd in
Naruto.
Code Geass.
Indeed.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, Dio is
Master of
apparently a
Ring
fucking
Circus.
fucking ringmaster over here.
No, you got it right.
So this is Tenmyoji.
Yep.
Tenmyoji, voiced by
He has a bow tie.
Yeah.
voiced by JB Blank.
The thing I couldn't remember the name of earlier.
Oh, the bolo tie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
So this is Alice,
Also,
who is a reference to that scene at the end of 999.
voiced by Tara Platt.
She also hates shorts, apparently.
Yes.
She's Luna.
This is Luna.
Hello. It's very nice to meet you.
Luna, voiced by Laura Bailey.
I feel just a little bit off style.
Been in everything. And since we already talked to him, may as well bring up Quark as well.
Quark, voiced by Aaron Fitzgerald.
And you are?
May Kanker from Ed, Edd and Eddie. Yrel from World of Warcraft.
I believe she was also one of the Junko voices from Danganronpa. If you're looking on like IMDb, I don't think that's going to show up because none of the English voice cast were credited in Danganronpa.
No, she actually is credited.
Okay.
Well, she's uncredited, but it's listed here as
listed
English
as
voice uncredited.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Bastard.
Are you two...
Complicated.
You think?
I certainly don't suffer from amnesia. Please tell me he doesn't suffer from amnesia.
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
bracelet
less
there.
about suffering from amnesia and more about gets weird, sort of maybe psychic brain flashes.
Well, that gels with the last game.
And yours. Fi, right? Now let me have a look. I thought so. Quark, you and Dio show them your bracelets.
So, Quark and Dio have another set that's a 3 and pair, but theirs are in blue.
Playing with colors this time, aren't we?
Not exactly.
Oh, sharp eye there.
The Nonary game Ambidex Edition is significantly more complicated than the Nonary game from 999.
Because that was necessary?
It
Show 'em yours too,
plays with the
ladies.
mechanics better. So all 3 of them have ones that say solo in different colors.
Right. You figure it out then?
No.
Sigma and I are the red pair. Dio and Quark are the blue pair. Each pair got put in the same elevator. But Tenmyoji, Alice, and Luna were all solos, so...
Don't got the foggiest idea.
I don't know why we're split up like this either. Does anybody know what the 3 means?
Maybe it has something to do with the game.
Everybody's a 3, making the math really easy.
And I'm calling it the Nonary Game! Ambidex Edition!
Zero the Third is far too excited about that shit.
Yes.
Yes,
Who likes this Nonary game?
in the elevator. He said something about the elevator falling.
Yeah, so everyone else got out a little bit before us and kind of moved around the room, checking the doors and stuff, but nothing opened.
You think we'd have done it last if there was? Well, give it a shot, why don't you?
So I'm guessing each pair.
I don't think
has
you'll
to
be
go
able to
through the
force that door
along
with
with
anything
a
short
solo.
of a tank.
It is much more complicated than that.
I told you already. Ugh.
Kid, I will dunk you in a fucking toilet, and you will never escape because of those fucking lead weights stuck to the side of your head.
Each one's got a digital lock on it. We can't pick the lock, and we can't break down the door.
Sure you
Why would I lie?
Well, if we use you as the battering ram, we'll accomplish something.
Unfortunately, not that we've found anyway.
All
Well,
results
there
will
is
be
one
positive.
thing I'm a little curious about. I was the first to escape. That means I know who was in which elevator. I watched all of you come out, after all. Well, I was in the 1/3 from the right. Tenmyoji was the second out. Your elevator was second from the left, I think.
Good memory. Yeah, that's where I was.
Third was Luna. You climbed out of the rightmost elevator, didn't you?
Yes, that's the one.
Dio and Quark were next. You came out of the elevator next to Luna's, right?
Yeah, we did.
And finally, the 2 of you were trapped in...
The 3rd elevator from the left.
Yes. No one has come out of the leftmost elevator.
Are you saying there's still someone in there?
I can't say for certain, but it does seem strange. Maybe we should go take a look.
Nothing.
Hey, look at this!
Is that some kind of card reader? Maybe it unlocks it or something.
There's one next to each door.
What do you think Ambidex's room is supposed to mean?
I don't know, it's a room that can use its left hand and right hand equally well.
Well, it says it on all 6 of the elevators.
Maybe it has something to do with the game that Zero was talking about.
Oh, the Nonary Game Ambidex Edition?
Nah. I got nothing. Not even dirt.
And some really poorly timed lip flaps.
So they've taken everything we were carrying? Wonderful.
He's not the only one.
Yeah, no, again, while they do have 3D models for all the characters in this game, this was still fairly early in the generation, so, model rigging is not the greatest.
Yep.
What system was this for?
Originally, I want to say 3DS and Vita.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't help either.
Maybe there's no one in there. What makes you so sure?
What's that?
Look! It's opening! There was someone in there!
Or it just opened on its own.
No, there was someone in there.
No, it just opened on its own.
Clover!
So in case you were wondering, yes, this is exactly the same Clover from 999, apparently going through her Pebbles Flintstone era.
Wake up!
Voiced by Wendy Lee in this outing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's changed.
No, I'm pretty sure her voice for the Nonary Game version of 999 was also Wendy Lee.
What did you do to her?
Nothing. She was like that when I woke up. I really wouldn't worry, though. She should be all right. Her breathing is steady. I believe she's only sleeping.
Then she hasn't woken up since they kidnapped her.
Kidnapped? Begging your pardon, but I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean. Where are we? And who are you?
He is a robot, isn't he?
No.
Okay, good.
He is actually a person in like an armor suit.
Who am I?
Oh, god damn it.
I don't
No,
remember.
He
back in
has
the box.
amnesia.
I don't remember anything. I have no idea where I am, or who I am, or even what day it is. If you happen to know any of those things, I would very much appreciate it if you shared that information. Not knowing one's identity is vexing.
Oh yeah, very original. The amnesiac routine. Please.
Pardon me a moment.
Excuse me.
How are we supposed to take you seriously when you're wearing this
Says the man in a fucking top hat and ringmaster coat.
robot suit? We can't even see your face. You gonna tell us someone forced you into that thing?
I assume so. It seems the most reasonable explanation. When I woke up, I was wearing this armor, I suppose you could call it.
You look pretty calm for a man who doesn't know who he is.
Look? That's an odd choice of words. I'm wearing a mask. How would you know how I look?
You know what I meant, you smartass.
Oh, she's waking up. Clover, are you okay? Come on, talk to me.
Alice, where are we? What? No, that can't.
Understandably, Clover's reaction to finding out she's stuck in another nonary game is, oh, fuck me, not again.
This is the third time now.
When did you lose your memory?
When? That's a difficult question. I suppose when I was born. I don't remember anything of my life. Assuming I had one.
I think he has generalized amnesia. It's a type of memory loss. People affected by it retain knowledge like language, social common sense, memorized facts, abilities they've learned.
Like being able to leap 15 feet through the air while carrying an unconscious girl.
It exclusively happens to characters in stories.
Has to do with,
I mean, it is actually a real thing.
Yeah, it is, but it's not the
super
way.
common.
And not the way it's generally portrayed either. It's like you have a section missing, or
It's a very serious condition. Most research suggests that it's mainly psychological, not physiological. But in very rare instances, it has been shown to result from severe head trauma.
Right, got it. Let's beat this guy in the head with a hammer until he remembers stuff.
Yeah, the Fred Flintstone.
That's not how that works.
I don't know, we already got Pebbles over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a
I
point.
had a really bad breakup.
Please do note, this is basically my favorite character in the entire game.
So I assume the mask is on purpose so we don't recognize the character.
When you say we, do you mean we the players, or do you mean we Sigma?
You're the players.
No. We
One of the two, actually.
Yeah.
It's either so the players don't recognize him, or the characters in the room don't recognize him because they actually know it from somewhere else.
There's a whole thing about just for reference, this character is called K. There's a whole lot of shit about K through various ending paths in this game.
Also, Kay here, voiced by Travis Willingham.
This guy's obviously
primarily known as Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist. Though he's done a lot of voice acting.
Tell me you're actually buying this.
Yeah, I mean, it should also be noted that like half of the voice cast in this are people that are on Critical Role. Like Liam O'Brien, Travis Willingham, Laura Bailey.
Yep.
Yeah, so he actually has a bracelet basically kind of built in, like there's a little like gap in the suit itself that allows the bracelet to fit on his actual arm.
I assume he can't actually take the suit off.
Nope.
Yeah.
So Kay and Clover are the green pair.
And everyone's a 3.
Well, again, as I said, this nonary game operates under significantly different rules than the previous one. I will just put out there, the numbers on those bracelets don't have the same meaning as the numbers on the bracelets from 999. We will get that explanation shortly now that the whole gang is gathered.
Didn't I tell you that?
There's a box here. Maybe it's some sort of locking thing, like the ones next to the elevators.
You mean the thing that says lock?
I don't think it's a card reader, though.
Hey, what do you think that is? That graffiti over there. See? On the wall?
Oh, yes, that. I was wondering what that was. 2 milkmen go comedy. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
It's comedy.
I think it's somebody's way of saying hello. You heard me.
It's a weird way of saying hello.
I say hello swiftly through blood.
It's an anagram.
Yeah, it makes more sense once you realize it's an anagram, which Tenmyoji apparently
Yeah,
did like immediately.
they tried a lot of names before they worked it down to Tella. Come on, seriously? You've never heard of an anagram?
It's a kind of, wordplay where you move the letters around to create something else. Right?
Exactly. Watch.
Are they gonna keep doing anagrams on us?
Not really.
Okay, good.
There are a couple of them, but it's
The anagram games.
as far as I remember,
I
it's
quit.
never actually.
Where's the Bob?
Yeah, as far as I remember, it's never actually part of the puzzles. It's just like incidental stuff like this.
Exactly.
That'll be
Seems
immediately
like
deciphered by
expecting
Spy.
us, doesn't it?
True, but you're assuming that Zero isn't one of us.
Clover's just like, don't start that shit again.
Lay off the sugar.
Huh?
Look, over there.
Shame on you, Fido. You can't say what I'm about to say before I say it. I've got a plan, you know. I can't just tell you everything at once. Although, things are starting to get exciting.
Please tell me Zero the Third is actually that rabbit.
I mean, you're not wholly incorrect.
Where are you, little bastard? Too scared to come out and face me like a man?
Are you an idiot?
Yes.
I'm a
Yeah.
rabbit. You really think a talking rabbit is a real thing?
Of course I don't. You're some kind of CG rabbit or something, probably. That's not what I meant, though.
I mean, you're all CG.
You meant you want to see the person who's controlling me? I guess God touched this one a little too hard.
What?
Weren't you listening to Fido? She's clever, you know. Well, yes. I guess that's one way to put it.
Are you really sure? You're responding to our questions and stuff right now. That means you're not just, like, a video somebody made. Wouldn't that mean that Zero would have to be controlling you and sending you answers right now? Because it doesn't look like anyone's doing that.
Well, of course they aren't. I'm an AI.
Yeah, so there you go, Vince. This rabbit is, in fact, Zero the Third. It is an AI, and this is like the avatar it uses.
I'm an artificial intelligence powered by a quantum computer. Zero is the one who built me, of course. So I guess that makes one of you my parent! Now, are you a mommy or a daddy? That would be telling. Now, with that said, I guess I should probably tell you that I'm not the one who brought you here. I mean, obviously. I don't even have a body. I'm just the facilitator for this facility. I just do what I'm told to do.
And what do you facilitate?
I was just following orders.
Didn't I say? The game, of course! Correct! It's my job to make sure it runs smooth.
No. It's supposed to be over.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with Clover's outfit?
It does not ever actually get explained. She apparently just likes to dress like that.
It's a disease that goes around in this
When
universe
the
where people
Flintstones
just
did well, they made a spin-off about teenage
So,
version of
What
Pebbles.
is the known
Bandman.
I mean, yes, they did.
She went from relatively normal schoolgirl to whatever the fuck that is.
Nonary refers to a base 9 numeral system, but can also mean something that is, in some way, related to the number 9. Nona can be used as a prefix as well, where it means essentially the same thing. Therefore, it stands to reason that the Nonary game is a game that deals with the number 9 in some way.
Exactly. 9 is a very, very important number in this game. After all, 9 is your goal.
Goal?
Yes, goal. You see that door in front of you? That's your door. If you can open the door with a 9 on it, you can escape.
What do we have to do to open it?
Yes. Let me explain.
You have to kill
Look at your
someone
left
else
wrists.
and get away with it. And it's fast draw.
You see the bracelet? Of course you do. Now, tell me, Fido, what number is on yours?
Now, I'm pretty sure everyone will come out of here perfectly fine in all endings.
What about the rest of you?
Certainly be no
They're all
mass
the
murders.
same.
Sorry, give me a second here.
We've all got 3s.
Exactly. I'm going to call those numbers bracelet points. If you're feeling lazy, you can just call them BP. Only the people who can get their number to 9 or more will be able to open the door with a 9 on it and escape. See the box on the wall?
Bracer points.
That's how you'll get out. Anyone with a greater than or equal to 9 BP can pull that lever and the door will open.
Unfortunately, 9 is like nothing in bracer points.
However,
Yeah, we have like 382 bracer points.
there are 3 rules you...
You get 9 for like helping an old lady across the street.
Very important bracer duty.
1. The number 9 door will only stay open for 9 seconds. When your time is up,
'Cause of course it
will
does.
close automatically, so be careful. 2. The number 9 door only opens once. Once that happens, it's all over. It'll close for good after 9 seconds, so if you're not careful, you could get stuck. 3. Now, maybe some of you are thinking. You're thinking, oh ho! If my BP is too low, then I'll just have someone with enough BP open the door. And I'll just slip through when it's open. Well, that's not gonna happen. If you think you can be sneaky, well...
Oh, get used to the rabbit puns. They never stop.
They never stop.
Yeah.
Oh, I really shouldn't say that yet. All you need to know is that anybody who tries to sneak out gets hit with a big penalty.
What the hell does that mean?
Down in front! I'll tell you later.
I'll tell you after you explode.
Yes?
It's not bombs this time.
Why did you start making
lasers.
puns?
Well,
Thank you for asking the important questions, Luna.
because I felt like it. I thought it might make me sound cute.
Never mind that.
I do really like Zero the
You
Third.
still haven't
Yeah,
told
no,
us
Zero
what we need to
the
know
Third
most.
is actually quite entertaining.
How do we get BP?
Oh, that's easy. Just use the ambidex room. If you like abbreviations, you can always call it the AB room instead.
You mean those, elevators?
Gold Star!
So how do we go about using them?
How else do you use a room? You go in. No. I had a hunch you might try that, so I closed those up tight while you were talking. So don't be hatching any hatch plans, you understand? I live in the master computer. That means all the electronic doors in this whole warren are under my control.
How do we get in then? We tried the doors on the front. They're all locked.
There's a card reader next to each one, isn't there? All you gotta do is slide a card through,
Yeah.
and there you go.
Where do we find those key cards?
Yeah, the worst part is people pay a fortune to play a
Any
game
in
like
the
this.
warehouse.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, no. Of course there wouldn't be any there.
Then where are they?
And it's going to end up to have some convoluted and stupid plot that involves psychic time travel or something.
It's so much dumber than that.
Right here! You see the 3 pretty doors just to your right?
Huh? Hold on. I thought those doors were locked.
Quirk,
What?
you see those buttons on the sides of your watch? Can you press them at the same time?
Why?
To make little boys ask questions. Just press them, please. In fact, why doesn't everybody press their buttons as well?
Let's see, it was right, left, right, left, right, left.
The 2 digits on the left
Because no
show
one's gonna do this
hours,
on accident.
and the 2 on the right show minutes.
Does that mean it's 12:10 in the morning?
No!
Oh, the numbers are going down.
It's gone from 10 minutes to 9.
So
This is going to take a while.
that would mean this must be counting down to something, right?
Correct. I don't even need to explain the rest, do I?
Yes.
I'm guessing this is the time until the chromatic doors unlock.
Ding 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 ding! Very impressive, Tenmioli! All right, let us review what we've learned. In 9 minutes, the chromatic doors will open automatically. However, just like the number 9 door, they won't stay open forever. You have 5 minutes. Once your time is up, the doors will close no matter what. So I hope you've gone through by then. That's just the primary door.
What?
I'll give them
Each
this. At
door
least the
in
rabbit
this
puns are
world has a
harder to come
twin.
up with.
Isn't that nice?
I mean, she could have been a bear.
The chromatic doors are tiny different.
That would have been unbearable.
There's one door on this side.
And with the puns, you'd be
one door
barely
on the other
trying.
side. Unfortunately, the secondary chromatic door on the other side is locked too.
Couldn't make it easy for us, could you?
Of course, you'll all have to split up.
Split up?
Yep. Cleaver, can you tell me what the 3 primary colors are?
Why are you asking me?
Because you're the only person who hasn't talked to me. I try to communicate with as many people as I can. It helps me improve, you see. I'm trying to get into the habit of doing it all the time. Now, answer my questions. Do you know what the 3 primary colors are? Well?
You mean red, green, and blue? You're supposed to be able to make any color by mixing them, right?
So which colors would you mix to get magenta?
Red and blue,
How about yellow?
green and red.
What if you wanted cyan?
Blue and green.
That's right! Now, take another look at the nice bracelets you're all wearing. Notice how they come in 3 vibrant colors?
Yeah. We get it already. The red and
Yeah,
blue
so the
bracelets
chromatic
can open
doors
the
are based
secondary
on
magenta door together.
The bracelet
Primary
colors.
color.
Yeah.
Green
Yeah.
and red can open the yellow one. And blue and green can open the cyan door. I missed anything?
Wonderful! I think you rabbit. There is one other little thing, though.
We're
Ooh, that
talking
one
about
was a
what
stretch.
happens if you've got 2 of the
Yeah.
same color, right?
Yep. What do you think happens?
How the hell would I know?
If you want to open a door, but all you've got is one color, then you can use that to open a door with the complementary color to the one you've got.
I see. So if you've got red and red, then you can open the cyan door. Blue and blue can open the yellow door.
How do y'all feel about color theory?
And green can open the magenta door.
Right again! Looks like your brain hasn't rotted away yet, Tenmioli.
Just what the hell's that supposed to mean?
It means exactly what it says. I was trying to compliment you, you know. Oh well.
Good thing everyone in this room knows color theory.
There are 2 types of bracelets, pairs and solos. That means
And isn't
there's
color
2
blind?
types of players too. Pairs and solos. In this game, the 2 members of a pair are considered to be a single entity, which means they share the same destiny. Isn't that a good deal? I mean, you get 2
So we're stuck with 5.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, it also means they can't split up. Aww. Both members of a pair have to go through the same chromatic door. Solos don't have any restrictions like that, though. I mean, why would they? They're forever alone. But that means that they can go wherever they want. Yay! Now, let's take another look at all of your bracelets. We'll start with you, Siggy. What color is your bracelet? Are you a pair or a solo? Fido is next. Tell us about your bracelet.
It's just like Sigma's, red in a pair.
What about you, Alas?
It's red, and I'm a solo.
Bio, Quirk,
Blue. Pair.
Yeah, mine's the same.
Mooney, Cleaver, Hemioli, all at once.
I'm a blue solo. I'm a green pair.
Green solo.
And finally, who are you?
I'm, let's see. I suppose you can call me Kay.
I knew it. You were just lying about that amnesia crap.
I'm not lying.
K is a letter.
This was just a, how do I put it? A flash of insight, I suppose. I saw the letter K.
So, what does K have to do with anything?
I wish I knew. Sadly, I have no idea. Does it mean anything to you?
Asshole.
I will say at least part of my appreciation for Kay is how much he annoys the shit out of Dio.
Come on now, boys. You can fight later. Now, Kay? Can I call you that?
Yes,
I'm guessing your bracelet is the same as Clover's.
that's right. It says pair, and the text is green.
Okay. I'm glad we got all that bracelet business out of the way. Now, let us return to the subject at hand. How do you open the secondary door? So, Siggy, what would you do to get through the magenta door?
Or you could work with Mr. Dio and me.
Or I could put my head in the squeeze vice and wait until my brains leak out my eye sockets.
We're blue too.
Looks like Quark is already putting his head in the squeeze vice.
Whoops! Oh, celery sticks. I forgot to tell you. You have to have exactly
Also that.
3
Ah.
people in your group to open the secondary door. That means
So we can
you
never
can't
team
have
up with
people
the
or 4
pairs.
people or, well, anything other than 3, really.
Things happen.
Okay.
If one of the pairs dies, I guess that they won't come solo.
yeah.
And I guess I should probably tell you that the secondary door won't open until the primary door closes. It's made that way to keep out cheaters. We didn't want a 4th or 5th person just running in at the last minute like, ah, wait for me! When the right people open the door. But if the primary door closes first, then that's impossible! You see, it all makes sense. And you might have run a hair too long in my explanation, but now I'm all done. Any questions?
Now, granted, these puns are effectively text-based, in the sense that if we weren't reading the text, we probably wouldn't have caught them.
Yeah, some of them are pretty obvious, but yeah, so here's just the recap. We need to get 9 or more BP to open the number 9 door, which is how we get out of here. We earn BP by going into the AB room. Go into the AB room by getting a key card. We get a key card by solving the going through the chromatic doors.
Yeah.
And the primary chromatic doors will open on their own. Secondary doors can only be opened by the right combination of colors, either the combination that makes the color, or a combination that is entirely the complementary color.
Good? Excellent. It looks like none of you have any.
So, as an interesting voice actor note, in Japan, Zero the Third is voiced by Tarako. Tarako eventually becomes the voice of Monokuma.
Yeah.
So, full circle.
It is worth noting, by the way, while I do have this on English voices, this game does actually give you the option to have the Japanese voices.
Yes.
I just actually really like most of the English voice cast, so I leave it on English.
Yeah.
Yeah, the English voice is fine. It helps that they're all voice actors, so.
Chromatic doors, 5 minutes remain.
Well, I mean, even then, there are instances
doors
where even having a bunch of good voice actors and a bad voice director will still make a thing be shitty.
That's true.
Oh, so sorry, guys. But it looks like your time's up. You better hop to it and get those secondary doors up.
I assume this is a plot convenient 10 minutes.
Basically. I'm also going to turn the counters off for the time being.
Fuck
I will turn them on as they update. Probably before next stream I'll work around a little bit and try and figure out a better place for them in this game, because it doesn't
We aren't gonna
work
open
well
shit.
down at the bottom in this game as it does in 999.
You can take your lamery game and shove it up your ass. If you think we're just gonna swallow your psychotic crap and play along, you've got another thing coming, you smart-ass little rodent.
I'm a rabbit.
Shut up!
Well, shoot. I thought you might say that.
Notably, I will not give fuck Dio points for Dio being a dickbag to Zero, because he deserves it.
Unfortunately, you have no choice but to follow the rules.
Why is that?
When the time comes, those 3 doors will automatically close. If anyone is left outside after they close, they'll...
They'll what?
On the other hand, at this point, Zero is a more likable character than Dio.
You keep saying that.
Sadly.
What the hell
Oh,
is
Zero
this
the Third is
penalty
absolutely
anyway?
a more likable character than Dio all the time, but he is also the one putting them through the death game, so it's justifiable to be an asshole to him.
Yes.
Well...
Justifiable, also not smart.
I'm pretty sure AI Rabbit doesn't care if people yell at them.
The first is an anesthetic called Soparil Beta. The other is a
You would think, but this AI is unusual.
also has a bunch of needles on the inside.
Or usual.
If
Standards
you
of
break
AIs
their
don't
rules,
exist currently.
Those needles hop out and inject you.
You know, strangely enough, this is less fanciful than we planted bombs in you.
Uh-huh.
9 minutes later, the tubo
Yeah, no, the death penalty in the Ambidex edition is just much simpler.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away. You should know that the Soparil is only there out of the kindness of Zero's heart. Oh, and I mean the
It's
real
like, we're
Zero.
just gonna knock you out, then inject this stuff to make your
Zero
lungs
just
stop
doesn't wanna
working.
see
Have fun.
anybody suffer.
Yep.
Isn't that just so?
Also
We're gonna knock you out
Soparil.
first.
If I had a heart, it'd be melting.
Which,
right
to recap
now.
from the first game, Soparil was a drug made by what's-his-name that did something.
Yeah,
Well,
by
did
Ace.
that.
It's an anesthetic.
Yeah, it was an anesthetic.
Yeah.
It is a super useful anesthetic with no side
Of
effects.
course.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
That was made from a root found in the bottom of a coffin.
That supposedly contained Alice. Or
Yeah.
all ice.
3
Who is someone
minutes
different than this
remain
Alice, we'll
until
say.
chromatic doors
Well, this
close.
Alice is the one they ran into when they were leaving
In the desert.
facility.
It's just
desert.
not the actual. Yeah.
No, she is not and never has been the supposed frozen Egyptian queen.
Yeah.
Well then, looks like it's time for me to hop on out of here.
He just happens to have the same name as the Frozen Queen's nickname.
Yeah, that's also why Alice knows Clover.
See you all later. Have a nice trap.
waiting for? We need to go. We need to get through
right.
these other doors.
But how do we
So
figure
to get
out
a
which door to go
strong enough
through?
axe to cut completely
You still
through
don't
part of your
get it?
arm in like one swing.
Fine. Just pay attention, we don't have much time. Zero's explanation
Easily
is pretty
remove these
confusing.
bracelets.
So let me put it
Good.
in small words for
Stop,
you.
then tourniquet.
Yep.
There are only 3 possible options. Option A. Sigma and I pair up with Luna. Our red and her blue can open the magenta door. That would mean Clover and Kay would go with Alice. Their green goes with her red to make yellow. That just leaves Dio and Quark as the blue pair, and Tenmyoji as the green solo. The only door they can open is the cyan one. Got it? Option B. Sigma and I go with Tenmyoji, so we can
Option
use
C.
red and green
Flip
to
it.
make yellow for that door.
Yeah.
That means Clover and Kay pair up with Luna
And
to
then
open the
option
cyan
C
door.
is everyone goes through the
This
same door.
leaves Dio and Quark
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Alice, and together, they can open up the magenta door. And finally, option C would be where we pair up with light colors to open complementary colored doors. That means Sigma, Alice, and I go through the cyan door, Clover, Kay, and Tenmyoji go through the magenta door, and Dio, Quark, and Luna go through the yellow door. Problem is, which do we choose?
Please, Sigma, choose something.
Well, fortunately, since
Why?
we're a main character in a visual novel game, we're the only one that has any level of agency.
Protagonism.
Although, notably, Sigma does question, like,
If you
why the
don't
fuck
want
should
to,
I be the
then
one to
maybe
choose?
Alice or Clover can choose. Or Tenmyoji or Dio or anyone.
Please just
Or
don't put
yourself.
decision-making responsibility on me.
Once one person chooses, everyone else's decisions will be made for them. But please, you have to hurry. We're almost out of time.
How much time did they give us?
1 minute remains.
Well, that
until
explains.
chromatic
Yeah,
doors
that's
close.
Technically speaking, the doors were going to open in like 9 minutes during that conversation we had with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The door, according to Zero, the doors are open for 5 minutes.
Alright, so what do we want to do? Go through the magenta door with Luna, go through the yellow door with Tenmyoji, or go through the cyan door with Alice?
1 second.
Huh.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Sure.
6. Okay, Alice. Go
Cyan
ahead.
door with Alice. Got it.
I have about
Sure.
equal levels of like and dislike for all these,
That means
all
Quark
those
and I are getting
characters.
paired
So
with Luna.
fuck it.
Admittedly, I like Tenmyoji more than the others, but that's because I know stuff about Tenmyoji that you guys don't yet.
Yeah, we've just been introduced to them, so
I mean, at least partially I like him because he's a crotchety old man, so...
I don't have a
that's
problem with that.
fair, actually.
Miss Luna's nice.
That's fine with me, too. We'll take the yellow door then, right?
That means Clover and I will take the purple door with Tenmyoji.
Aw, I wanted to go with Alice.
There's something wrong with me.
Well, no, not wrong.
Okay, what is it then?
Well,
Something wrong with you,
you're
you
gonna make me
harlot.
say it? You're old.
What? Well, I'll have you know, I'm as spry as I was when I was 20.
10 seconds remain until chromatic doors close. 9.
Took a long time to talk about what color we're going to do.
7.
Due to wacky arguing, everyone got sealed in and everyone died. The end.
Yeah, whatever.
All the doors closed, all of them are still standing out here. Zero the Third shows back up. Okay, fuckheads, listen up. I'm gonna give you one do-over, because what the fuck is wrong with you?
3, 2, 1, 0. Chromatic doors closing.
So yeah, we get this really cool little like digital map that sort of shows everything. And now we're into the crew quarters.
The door said crew quarters? People probably stayed here.
There are numbers on each of the doors. So they're room 1, room 2, room 3, etc.
Looks like we were right. This place really says someone lives here. Yep.
But who would be spending the night in a place like this?
It looks too plain to be a guest room. This room probably belonged to a laborer or some kind of blue-collar worker. Guess this is where the people who worked here stayed. Beats me. Why would I know that anyway? I don't know what this place is any more than you do. Your guess is as good as mine.
Do you think it might be a coal mine? Or maybe they're drilling for oil or something.
I don't know about that.
You want to go have a look?
So that's the cyan door we're looking for to get out.
No getting out of the hallway until we can unlock it then, I guess.
Looks that way.
So it's time to seek a way out.
A way out. So is this section all text, or or is there actual voice acting in it?
So we've got kind of 3 rooms to investigate here. Here's where the safe is for this particular one, and we also have like a phone over here.
Yep.
I don't know if it'll do it off of this phone or not. I'm going to test the thing real quick. I believe it will. So we're going to spend a moment here. There's some Easter eggs with this phone.
Yep, those are numbers.
If you turn it upside down, it says, "Gosh, he is illegible."
Oh, 309.
Uh-huh. This is the first 4 digits of pi. What was the next one?
I feel that was more making fun of the first game.
I'm not actually sure what that's a reference to, I just know that that's there.
Well, that makes sense. I like we're paying for it.
Okay, now the actual thing that we're supposed to do with this. I think we just hit that one here. Yeah, we gotta... Clear it out to do nothing. So what we actually need to do is contact the other two that are in the different rooms. So Alice went into room 2. So it says 25 asterisk asterisk when we call her. Meanwhile, Phi went into room 4. And hers has, yeah, star 92.
Ah.
Yeah, what if they want us to put in 2592?
Yeah, so that's what happens if we call it right now. Other things we have in this room. Can't do anything with this until we have the key for it.
Yep. Puzzles into puzzles into puzzles.
Got a book about Schrodinger's cat. This is a thing. This is a thing. It's one of Sigma's personality traits. He makes cat puns when he talks about cats. Like in the Japanese, he always has like "nya" stuff in his text.
Truly a loathsome person.
And we have these symbols. So it's like triangle, diamond, triangle, shield kind of thing there.
The silhouette of a fox, thank you very much.
So here we've got a silhouette of a person with the left knee ripped out. Also, we put the book on top of the safe for some reason.
Just felt right.
So that's what we got going on in room 1. So we'll go into room 2 with Alice. Check out what's going on in here. So this room also has a phone. Also has one of these things with the lock. As you can see, has slightly different numbers. Different arrangement there.
Almost a key.
There's nothing. I haven't found anything here. You haven't found this weird metal piece, these marks on the doors, this.
If we look here, silhouette of the body with the left forearm torn. Then we go check in room 4 where Phi is.
So left forearm, left leg. What was the first one?
So it was left forearm, left knee, right ankle.
Refuse to do this unless you find a coin.
Yep. So again, another one of these, slightly different arrangement of numbers.
Never mind the fact that you could easily just use the metal thing you picked up in the other room.
Oh,
Or
no,
the metal thing.
that's what he said. He tried it. He couldn't. It was too slippery. He couldn't get a grip on it to get enough traction.
Oh, good. The other half of the key.
Yeah.
And I know I said I'd let you guys have some input on puzzle solving, but at least this part of it is pretty fucking simple. So.
Yeah. Wait a minute, I just made a key.
Keep these handcuffs for later.
So now we'll go into room 3.
They will almost certainly be used against me.
So upper right arm, left forearm, left knee, right ankle.
And that one is open.
Yep.
That's green lights on. So it's
We
open.
have a large roll of aluminum foil.
Also use this for later.
So we cut out the important part of it, which is these shapes.
Hmm.
You can also see here that says 603, 312. And over here you can see there's a spot for a little cassette tape to go in with the answering machine.
Hmm.
Alright. So, now I'm going to pull for ideas.
Scratch at the poster.
Oh, actually, hold on. I'm going to do one more thing here. So there's a bunch of shapes on here. Actually, I forgot. I've got to do the whole thing here.
Ah.
There are actually 4 of them. As you may expect, each one somewhat coinciding to one of the set of symbols in the rooms. So now we have basically everything we need to do this. So you want to go mess with the poster?
Well, we don't have a coin technically, and he's really picky about what he uses.
It has to be a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mess with the shapes. I don't know.
All right. Start
We have
with
foil
one just to make it
shapes.
easy.
Yeah.
I assume we want the mostly vigorous one, yeah.
Yep.
Draw that out, put that down.
Yeah.
So we've got a circle, star, diamond, and triangle.
I similarly do the other for the other shapes or other wall markings.
Yep. So since we're already looking this way, we'll go do the one for room 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the question is, which one do we think goes with this?
Let me
I
see
think
the
that's
pattern.
foil pattern 3.
All right.
Walker.
Yep.
Which, considering.
It's almost like you figured out, Shiv, that these are numbered.
Yeah, no, they're pretty obviously numbered.
Nine, 4, and 5.
Maybe the wrong one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the one that is different. Yep, there we go. 3472.
3472.
Okay.
Is that one the telephone number?
Try it. Okay, yeah, we have to use the phone.
Have to
Number
use our
one.
phone.
Yep, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's... Huh. It's something else.
Yep.
And we
One
have
of the locker code, possibly.
to go over here and do the last,
Depending on how a puzzle works.
this one gives us 4985.
Alright.
Can we do the lockers now?
Try.
This
Okay,
is
so
obviously
we
a
just need to
puzzle.
pass 4985. So bottom center, left middle, left top, and then yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
So the other one's the one for the one in that room as well.
That got us a small cassette tape, which we obviously know where that goes, but before we do
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
we go do the other locker.
Yep.
So it's 3472. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
3472. How do you bag off this one, even though I know exactly how they work now?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 3,
3,
4,
4,
7,
7.
2.
Yeah.
Not gonna make you guys tell me exactly which button
No,
when you already figured out how
You're
to
adding
work.
2 numbers. You figured it out. A wallet. Odd 20. Oh, we got a scratchy coin now.
Yep. Let's go scratch that poster. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the sneaky bit, is you're not actually supposed to focus on the silver. Now, the silver does have stuff concealed beneath it that's somewhat important, but...
Yeah. You're supposed to focus on all the spots that you saw.
Accidentally right-clicked there, so yeah.
Yeah, all the spots that are highlighted on the
on the bodies. Yeah.
Yep.
Slash are obviously concealed.
So that, please let me have this.
Yep, so now we've got the numbers for the other one. So triangle is 9. Yeah, I don't...
You were smart enough to figure this out.
Yeah, so circle is 1, star is 6, diamond is 8, triangle is 9. Just to illustrate that it can be useful. Yeah, like bad memory, for instance. And also that mouse drawing is fucking awful.
Yes, it is.
Actually.
Can we have a regular old notepad? Now, granted, this was meant for like 3DS, so.
Yes.
And Vita, which has touch controls of some sort.
Yes,
Yep.
Vita has a touchscreen.
Both front and back touchscreens.
Now if we go here, compare against our memo, we can see it should be 1689, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This one needs a key.
Ah, so we have to do the other puzzle.
Yep. You're not quite there yet.
You have a cassette. Now we can go back to our room and call that one.
Yep.
A small little pin.
Yep.
Grenade!
Alright, so what do we think we do now?
Is the pin the key for that?
No, it's
Try.
probably the top half.
Yep.
Or I guess it is. Okay, simpler than I thought. We don't have to go to the other phone.
Nope.
And that number, which I forgot what was already.
1689 or something. I mean, I forget as well, actually. Yeah,
1689. Okay.
So 1, 6, 8, 9. Oh, did I do that wrong?
That's one. No.
It's
9.
1 9. 1
Right,
9.
right.
8,
It's
6.
Yeah,
Because the symbols are flipped over.
Yep.
Ah.
I was waiting for one of you to notice that. There's a reason I intentionally redrew the star to make sure it matched orientation.
We got a thing.
Found a safe password. I assume that's the normal safe password?
Yeah, so that is... Green is pretty much always the escape password, blue is the secret password.
I assume the secret password's going to be in where the room 3 locker is, because we don't have the code for that one yet.
No, the room 3 locker was already open. Room 3 locker.
Oh, that's right. That
that
one was just open.
No, we actually already have everything we need to be able to figure this out. It's a little obtuse about how you have to think about it, but it's
Oh, it's locked again.
yeah. So it's the regular password for this upside down. Which is tied to a lot of the different stuff. So the password, the orientation of the numbers, and the fact that you had to do the thing for the mirror on the phone.
Gold file.
Yep, so there's our gold file. Star, sun, moon. So this has a bunch of stuff in it. So a few more rules. Once you've opened a door, you can go through it as much as you like. The chromatic doors are like that too. Once they're open, even 0 can't keep you from going in and out of them. Any color of bracelet can go through them, and as many people as you like. But you have to escape before you can take advantage of the free reign rule. So basically, once we've actually completed what's behind a chromatic door, anybody can go through it to check out what's in there. So there's a key.
From the scan.
All right, tell us later. Maybe we can get snacks.
Tell us the section that has voice acting.
You found
Although-
it.
Yep.
Now we travel down this long hallway and find ourselves over here.
Nothing's up. We left our room, headed left.
And ended up here.
Sigma, let me see that map you found earlier.
Yep, so this is just showing that everybody's rooms end up leading to the same place over here.
Yeah.
That's the same as the map we found in the...
Oh, we found something like that too. Our room was an infirmary.
Maybe we should sit down for a bit, exchange information.
No. There's plenty of time for that after we check out this elevator.
Actually, there might not be. You have no idea what's on the other side of this door.
Yeah. But if we all
All right,
die,
I
what
walk
does it?
up once,
What
grab
if
the
we all?
elevator.
Yeah, if we all die, what does it matter if we exchange information then?
If only some of us die.
Then the ones that are alive can exchange information.
What the?
But we can't get
Oh,
information
this
from
is
the ones
just
who are
like the other
dead.
floor.
These doors have colors on them too. The one on the left is green. The one in the middle is blue. And the one on the right is red.
Are these chromatic doors? Look, there's a box here.
Yeah, just like the other. No good trying to force it open, I suppose.
Is something wrong, Alice? You've been staring at your bracelet.
Oh. No, I'm fine. But it looks like my guess was right. The numbers have changed.
Ah, for fuck's sake. You telling me we're gonna have to just sit around here for another 2 hours?
No. Looks like we don't have a choice then. You gotta head back. Clover, how about you show him that note we found?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Huh? Was it something about supplementary rules? Because we found a note just like that. It was in the infirmary.
Yeah, we already covered this.
Yep.
I don't think Zero's saying we can, otherwise.
You mean this? The Ambidex room key.
We found some too.
Let's head back to the warehouse.
So when Zero says jump, we say how high, huh?
If you don't like it, stay here. Stupid angry mutt watching the door sounds about right.
Asshole.
Other reasons I like Tenmyoji.
Better hope I don't have rabies, you self-satisfied old turd.
Well, what's it going to be? Are you going to go back with us? Or are you staying here by yourself?
Alright, fine. I'm going.
What happened to Dio? Oh, he was trapped between floors when the elevator started going up. He's dead.
Ah, shame that. Okay, not really.
So, this is the crew quarters, huh?
Just as the note said. We had no trouble getting it here.
That means we can go to the infirmary or the lounge.
Yeah, we can check out any of them.
Hey, look, Grandpa! They got a poster of a lady in here! It looks like the ones you got back home!
This one's pretty hot. I think we're talking at least 14, maybe even 15 EU.
Agreed.
I sure would like to take it home with me. Unfortunately, I don't think this is really the time for that. Let's keep moving. Let's go, buddy. I can't wait to get out of here and back to my, grandpa videos.
Ew.
You mean the ones you keep in the locked cabinet?
Shh! You're being too loud, Quark. You have to say these things quietly.
So one thing of note in that section, you always go back through whichever way you came in from, so that it doesn't reveal puzzle solutions for other routes.
You're finally
That
back.
makes sense.
You were taking so long. I hopped off for a little nap.
For yawning? Really? You're just a computer program. You don't get tired.
Hey, B.O. My temper's got a hair trigger, and you're awfully close to pulling it. So I'd watch my mouth if I were you. Otherwise...
Well, do you really need me to spell it out?
Forget it.
That's a good boy. Alrighty, let's get back to what we were talking about earlier. Namely, how do you get more BP?
But who goes into what room?
That doesn't really matter. Anybody can go into any room.
But there are only 6 rooms.
Didn't I tell you? The 2 members of a pair share the same destiny.
Then you mean both members of a pair need to go into the same room?
Yes.
What do we do after we go into the room?
Play a game.
How familiar are you with the prisoner's dilemma?
Just like it says on the door.
God, I wish I was joking.
You play the Ambidex game!
Wait, what's ambidex supposed to mean anyway?
I would guess it's short for ambidextrous. Most use the word to refer to the ability to use both of one's hands, instead of favoring the left or right. But it can also be taken to mean someone who is duplicitous or two-faced.
Certainly has nothing to do with this game.
And what's the nonary game?
That refers to the whole enchilada. The nonary game is a game where you try to open the number 9 door and escape. The Ambidex game is just a mini game you play as part of the larger one. Make sense?
Like hell. This shit is confusing.
Is it? That's because you're dumb.
Or is it that you're just a few carrots short of a bushel? What do you think, Theo?
You arrogant little bastard.
Well, that's just how I am. So you better get
Tell the AI to cackle.
Now, could I have you all
I'm
move
good
to
enough
the
I didn't
angry
teach the
bird
cackle.
place?
It just learned that on its own.
I'll give you more specifics once everyone's inside.
In a way, that's
I think
somehow more
it'll probably
disturbing.
be easier to understand that way.
Why are you asking me? Just hurry up and get in there.
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
Something wrong? What are you talking about? Of course there isn't anyone here. Let's get inside.
And now I'm going to make this elevator slowly go up and then quickly go down constantly for the next 45 minutes.
This looks just like the room we woke up in. That screen.
Right, so the Ambidex game will now begin. To enter your vote, please touch the start button on your screen. Once you have entered your vote, the door will lock automatically. It will not open again until the polling period has finished.
Shit! The hell are you doing, you idiot? Did you even read what it said? Once you press that button, it locks the door for 40 minutes. Now, thanks to your stupid ass, we're stuck in here for almost an hour. Yes, really.
Hey! Looks like everybody's closed their AB gates. That's the door to the AB room, silly. You're in the AB room right now. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be continuing my earlier explanation.
Now, let's get this party started! Let me tell you about the AB game. Since it's a game, you're obviously going to have an opponent. But it's not like this is a battle royale where you just fight everybody. Each round will be a one-on-one battle. Mono a mono, or mono a womano. Well, there are two people in each pair, aren't there?
So it'll be more of a two-on-one battle, I guess.
Now, I imagine you're all wondering who your opponent is going to be. It's actually really easy. You'll be competing against whoever you paired up with to go through the chromatic doors.
For example, Siggy and Fido paired up with Alas and went through the cyan door, didn't they? That means that Siggy and Fido will be playing against Alas.
And it goes the other way too.
Alas's opponent will be Siggy and Fido. Obviously, that means Potassium and Cleaver's enemy will be Tamioli.
For those of you confused, 0 the third refers to K as potassium, since it's the chemical symbol for it.
And Vito and Quirk's enemy will be Mooney!
Well, I guess enemy isn't really the right word, is it? After all, if you choose ally, then they're your ally.
What? Don't get it? Well, don't worry. Just listen while 0 the third explains it all.
First, I want everybody to focus on the screen on the device in the back of the room. You should see A, ally, and B, betray on it. Do you?
All you guys have to do
is pick! Just pick one of those easy options!
Your BP will go up or down, depending on what you pick.
It's a little complicated, and some of you are a little slow. So, I made this handy chart. The plus and minus are from your point of view.
Yeah, so again, this is pretty literally the prisoner's dilemma.
Yeah.
If you choose ally and your opponent chooses ally, you both get 2 points. If you choose ally and your opponent chooses to betray, you lose 2 points. They gain 3 points. If you choose betray and they choose ally, you gain 3 points. They lose 2 points. If you both choose betray, neither of you get any points.
So, let's say you choose ally, and so does your opponent. You'll get 2 BP, and so will they. We call that
the best pals outcome.
Just puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Next is what you get if you choose ally, but your opponent chooses to betray. If that happens, you lose 2 BP, and they get 3. We call that the stupid jerk face outcome.
Somebody did that to me, I'd skin them and stew them with some taters.
The third choice
is the opposite of that. It's when you choose betray, but your nice, innocent opponent chooses ally. This time, you're the one who gets 3 BP, and they're the one who loses 2.
We call that the serves them right outcome. I mean, what were they thinking? Choosing ally was a stupid choice, and there's nothing for you to feel guilty about.
And finally, the very last scenario. This is when you choose betray, and so does your opponent. If that happens, neither of you gets or loses anything. Absolutely 0 change in BP. Boring. We call this the why even bother outcome. As the game master here, this is the situation I want to avoid the most.
You're probably wondering about the pairs, aren't you?
No, let me explain.
Remember how I told you that both people in a pair share a destiny? Well, that applies here too. The 2 of you only get 1 vote. You get to choose once between ally or betray.
That doesn't mean you split your points, though.
You both get 3 points, or lose 2 points, or whatever. In other words, what you see on this chart is what you get. Okay then. I think that about does it for the basic rules. Well, actually, there's a little bit more, but it'll just have to wait, I guess. Hush now. It'll be okay.
Right.
30 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Anyway, I've gotta hop along now. Don't do something harebrained and wait until the last minute. You got plenty of time, so think it out. Bye-bye now. Have a nice trust.
So realistically, if everyone chooses ally, you're done in 3 puzzle rooms, assuming no other factors, which there are.
Well, you're forgetting the biggest factor.
That Dio's a dick?
Yep, pretty much.
Yep.
In case you were
And
wondering,
betray every time, doesn't
Dio
he?
chooses betray every single time.
Yeah.
About
Which
the
is
AB game?
actually a terrible idea, considering it will piss everyone else off and make it harder for you to get out.
Yeah, it's a
All
tough
right.
call.
I'm gonna go eat. I'll be back.
Yep.
This is really kind of an interesting game. Seems like it's based on the prisoner's dilemma. You've never heard of it? It's a thought experiment that uses game theory to examine why people do or don't cooperate. Let's say Apple and Banana have committed a serious crime. I just gave them the first names I thought of. They don't mean anything. Anyway, Apple and Banana are caught by the police and sent off to separate cells far away from one another. In other words, there's no way for them to contact each other. And they're not like telepaths or something.
Because, you know, that's a totally real thing that exists. Shut up.
So that's the setup. You following me? So, a detective shows up. He visits each cell and tells them both exactly the same thing. It goes something like this.
You can both clam up if that's what you want. We're gonna have to put you both in the slammer for 2 years if you do. Now, if you flip on your pal over there, tell me everything. I can get your sentence reduced to 1 year. That means your buddy will serve 15, but that ain't your problem, right? Of course, if he decides to spill the beans, it goes the other way. He gets 1 year, and you get to spend 15 years eating government cheese. You're probably wondering if both of you confess. Well, I can shave off a little time for saving me trouble,
really
but you'll
good at
still both
impressions.
do 10 years. So, Punk, what's it gonna be? Gonna give me what I want, or you gonna keep that trap shut? Of course, I told your partner the same thing I just told you. I wonder if you can trust him to keep the cat in the bag. No rush. Give you plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah, what would you do? Say you were in Apple or Banana's shoes. Interesting. But you're forgetting something important. That Banana will be thinking the same thing. So you'll both confess, and you'll both end up serving 10 years. Do you get it? If you both trusted each other, then neither of you would have served more than 2 years. But because you both made the decision based on your own self-interest, you're gonna spend 8 more years in prison. In other words, the logical decision leads not only to a less desirable outcome on the group level, but also a pretty shitty situation on the personal level too. You see now? The A-B game is the prisoner's dilemma.
It's nice that the game's just blatant about it, frankly. Don't even try to be like, no, we came up with this whole clever game all on our own. It's like, no, it's just the prisoner's dilemma.
Yep.
Yeah, but this is where it gets interesting. Let's say for a moment all 9 of us are on one team. Who would we be playing against? Right. So we can assume the 9 of us are fighting Zero in the AB game. If you look at it that way, what would we want to do to beat him? Just look at the point totals. Say we all picked Ally. What would our total points be? Okay. Now let's say one of the pairs chooses Betray. Yeah. So, what is that? Exactly. In this game, if each individual acts for the benefit of the whole group, everyone benefits. But if everyone starts looking out for themselves, it'll impact the group negatively. And eventually, it'll impact them negatively too. If all of us choose Betray, then the group gets 0 points. Ultimately, nobody benefits. Not even the individual. In other words, selfish but logical decisions hurt everyone. And they hurt you. No. I mean the opposite. If you're going to make the most logical choice here, the only option is Betray. No, I didn't. It's not the prisoner's solution. It's the prisoner's dilemma. Even though there's an outcome where everybody's happy, the choice you'd have to make for that outcome isn't the rational one. You want to pick it, but you can't. A dilemma. If we choose Ally, and Alice does too, then yes, it'll be great. All 3 of us will get 2 points. That would be ideal, obviously. And it would help everybody, but what if Alice chooses Betray? Right. And if that happens, we're so...
20 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Unless we can be certain that Alice will choose Ally, we don't have a choice. We have to choose Betray. Unfortunately, we don't have any way to know that for certain. That means we have to make the rational choice. It would be great to make the right choice, but we can't. Oh, knock it off. This is getting old. What about you? Are you working with Zero? You're too calm. You wake up trapped in some kind of twisted game and it doesn't even faze you? That hardly seems normal. Don't change the subject. We're talking about you. Maybe you actually do know me. Sigma. Just let it go. Our time's up. This is it. Before it ends, I wanted to tell you thanks. You know we're about to die, but you still stuck with me. So, thank you, Sigma. Goodbye.
So that happened.
What's
What
wrong?
was that?
Saw what? Explosion? Whoa, Sigma! Calm down! What are you talking about? What is it now?
What do you know about the Akashic field?
Again, it's so much dumber than that.
It hurts? You know, you said it hurt when you first woke up in the AB room, too. Are you alright? Maybe you should rest a little. Of course. I shouldn't have worried.
Five minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
What, do you need a translator? If you don't vote fast enough, then it'll set your vote to ally. Make sense? Or do I need to use smaller words? I guess not. We're already in here, though. So we might as well figure out what we're gonna do. What's it gonna be, Sigma? Ally? Or betray? Well, I didn't say should. I just said we didn't really have a choice. It's completely different. The former is an active opinion. The latter is just passive information. Yeah. We die. If our BP drops to 0, we die. The needles in our bracelets activate. Yeah. I don't know. I swear I don't. I know somehow. There's just this feeling I've got. Like, that's what'll happen.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So we're still walking a room.
Yep. We're just coming up on
Still
the choice
prisoner
of whether
dilemma.
to ally or betray. Fi spent a long time explaining the prisoner's dilemma, and then justifying being a horrible person.
Yeah. You also missed the mini stroke.
Yes, we had one of those psychic flashes I mentioned.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That culminated on an explosion on the moon, apparently.
What the hell are you talking about? You sounded like a crazy person the first time, too. Seriously, Sigma, are you okay? I think there's something wrong with you.
I'd be amused if a game did crap like that throughout the entire game, then it turns out in the end they were all completely useless and unrelated to the plot. Literally, your psychic power is to see completely useless information.
1 minute remains.
Hey, it's almost time. What are you gonna pick? If you aren't going to do it, then You're gonna choose betray. Alright, take it away.
30 seconds.
All right. Votes.
Just go with ally.
Go with ally. I don't think Alice is going to screw us.
No.
Not Dio.
Round 1 of the ambit results will be thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
What the hell were you thinking? Did you hear anything I said?
Yes, but we chose to ignore you because you were being a bitch.
Then?
Heard you just fine, and then we moved on. What you wanted to talk
It's
about?
not really a rational decision.
Yo, what's up? Siggy!
I want the edited outtake where she does the "what's up" and everybody else does the "what's up."
What are you kids doing over there? We're about to announce the results.
Let's go. We'll find out if you made the right choice.
Good. Looks like you're all here. Finally.
Let's get ready to rock!
Ambidex game! Round 1! The results!
If everybody would please direct their eyes to this monitor.
Here are the results from your game. Now, let us check the numbers on our bracelets.
Excuse me? I just made the most rational choice.
How dare you?
The best way to minimize risk and maximize reward in this situation is to choose betray. Anyone who thinks otherwise is, well, an idiot. I could ask you the same question. Why did you do something as stupid as choose ally? Oh, really? All of us, huh? Kay and Clover chose betray too, you know. Yes. I know about the prisoner's dilemma, but everyone picking ally isn't a reasonable outcome. Just look at the results for this round. What do they tell you? You're
If we do this 2 more
tender-hearted
times,
guy to
everyone
trust
gets out.
somebody you just met. Well, maybe tender-headed would be a little more appropriate in this case. Oh, was that upsetting? My apologies. I'm only trying to warn you.
Alice is right. You made a stupid choice. And thanks to you, our BP is down to 1 now.
Let's see if we can get to -9. And
Here's the problem with that thought process, Fi, because we actually have a goal in this as opposed to the prisoner's one, which is a singular choice. See, if we only choose betray every single time, no one ever leaves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not in a binary choice like the prisoner's dilemma is.
Welcome to what I scream at the monitor every time the fucking Ambidex game starts up.
Thank you. I'm so happy you chose Ally.
No problem.
Well, to tell you the truth, Mr. Dio wanted to pick Betray.
What?
Because he's a piece of shit.
Mr. Dio told me to pick Betray so that we could get 3 points.
Pardon me a moment.
Tick up that counter.
Counter has been updated.
He said we could escape
More
together.
proof you can never trust a
If
card.
we betrayed you, then we'd have 6 BP. And then, if we betrayed someone in the next round, we'd have 9.
Oh, Theo, is this true?
And then we could lock everyone out. They're certainly going to let us do that.
Kidding! I lied. That was a joke. Mr. Dio would never do something like that.
It was a joke?
Excuse me while I laugh uproariously.
Sure thing. Or
Yeah. Man, you really had me going there.
I really surprised you, huh?
So you really were planning to choose Ally all along? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We only did what anybody else would do. Right, Mr. Dio?
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyone who thought about this for 10 minutes.
I understand.
Hunter, Quark is fine. Dio's the giant asshole that no one would ever miss.
I guess I just haven't had enough time to earn your trust, huh?
I suppose you could say that. I just didn't really
Because
expect
there's
you to be
no
so
real reason to kill
nice
Quark.
about it.
Like I said, he's fine. Other than having the dumbest name.
Yeah.
And a stupid hat.
Zero, when does the next round start?
What makes you think we'll be having another round?
Well, you said round 1. If there's a round 1, then there's likely a round 2.
Besides, didn't you say the goal of the AB game was to get 9 BP? That's impossible without a second round.
Oh, yeah. I guess you got a point. You're right. There will be a second round.
When?
I don't know.
Why not?
The voting happens when an AB gate opens.
They're already open.
Right, you are. So, let me just close them.
The Ambidex gates have round 2 of the Ambidex game will be the Moon round. Moon cards will be required to open the gates.
Moon cards will also be required to open the moon bounce.
Yes, indeedy. Now, you'll have to look for cards with moons on them.
So, how many
most
times do we play
untrustworthy
the
of
AB
self-kill
game?
objects.
I don't know. As many times as you need to. It's anybody's
Look away
guess.
once and it drops a bunch of monsters on the planet.
I plan on keeping this party going until
That's the other
somebody
thing, too.
opens the number 9 door.
Zero the Third fully intends to just keep running these games until the 9 door gets opened. So there's theoretically no limit. As long as nobody's BP reaches 0, everybody can get to 9 easily.
Yeah. I mean, if everyone did Ally
so
3
it's over
times,
when
you'd be
someone
good.
gets 9 BP.
Yes.
Yeah, but even in this instance where people have already done Betray, at this point, it can still be pulled out by everybody doing Ally now. It would just mean 4 more games rather than the 2 more it would have been if everyone weren't douchebags.
Yes.
Nope. As long as that person doesn't open the number 9 door, the game goes on!
Of course. You could also get stuck just below 9 BP, where every bunny just keeps going back and forth, and you're losing points. After all, if there's no bunny with 9 BP, the door can't open. If that happens, you'll just have to continue on to round 3, and round 4, and round 5. Round 100, round 2000, you might even go all the way up to round 24,009,004,897.
Unfortunately, the AI's creativity breaks after round 6. We just go back to the same game. The exact same rooms as the first round, with the exact same puzzles.
Yeah? So? Nope.
Zero gets bored, starts introducing special restrictions like around 100. Now you must vote with your feet.
It could be 1% or 2%.
Now you must vote by throwing a mayonnaise jar at the screen.
There is one thing though, Siggy. All that stuff about how you have to have 3 people to go through the secondary chromatic doors, maybe it's not 100% true. Well, you can open the door with just 1 or 2 people if you want.
That's not what you told us.
I lied.
I didn't want to make things complicated.
Then explain it now.
Just use the bracelets.
What? How?
There's a sort of scanner between the 2 doors. It checks to see if the right people are going through. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's scanning the people.
So, it's scanning the bracelets then?
Ding ding ding! As long as the scanner sees the right combination of bracelets, it doesn't matter how many people there are! No, yes!
They do indeed.
Then how do I take it off?
Well, there's 2 ways. The first is to get through the number 9 door and escape. As soon as you're out, the bracelet unlocks all by itself.
What's the second way? Hey, Zero, wake up, will ya? What's the second way?
Oh, B.O. I think you already know.
What?
Do you really want to get rid of that bracelet?
Of course I do!
Oh, well, I see. It's easy. Nothing to it, really.
You die.
This is a death game. Can you stop being surprised?
Your heart creates a bunch of faint electrical
To be
impulses.
fair, they don't know it's a death game yet.
You know what an electrocardiogram
Except
is,
like
right?
Clover. Clover should know it's a death game.
Yes.
Well, he has already mentioned that the penalty that is applied is death.
Death. That's true.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a machine that graphs the electric current flowing across the myocardium, but you probably know it as the thing in the hospital with the little light that goes beep, 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 beep when someone dies on a TV show. Anyway, the point is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood. Your fancy little bracelets pick up on that. They're always watching. So,
Right, so if I stop my heart for a little bit, I can get this bracelet off my arm.
The lock on the bracelet releases, right?
Yep. So there you go. The second way. Your heart stops. Your bracelet comes off. Apart from that, there's no other way to get the bracelets off. If you try something harebrained, like trying to break them or something, you'll be disobeying the rules. I don't think I need to remind you what happens when you do that. But if you're lucky, you might get to see a few of them come off during the next round. Oops. I guess it's not going to be very lucky for some of you, huh?
Next round.
Yep.
What do you mean?
Well, do I have to explain everything?
Somebody might die during the next round of the AB game. There. That's pretty clear, right? If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to be Tenmyaldi. Or Siggy. Oh, or maybe Fido. Or maybe everyone?
What?
I guess I can tell you why. Anyone whose BP drops to 0 gets penalized, just like when you break the rules.
I'm pretty sure I already told you what the penalty is.
Correct, Siggy. Full marks.
I see. Phi Sigma and I only have 1 BP. That means we'd have less than 0 if we lost 2 points.
So if we go in the same door as Dio and choose Ally, this will be a very quick run.
Oh, one last thing. The next set of chromatic doors you'll be going through are downstairs. You already saw them, right?
Yes, Theobald Pontifex. Zero the Third is significantly more deranged than Zero from 999.
Yep.
Like, a
Also
lot
has
more
al-
deranged.
There should have been 3.
Also has already
red,
gotten way more screen
and
time.
green.
Sort of.
That means that to get through, you'll need bracelets in cyan, magenta, and yellow.
But wait! You've already got those bracelets! Have a look! The color's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, so you may have noticed when we looked at our bracelet earlier, it was yellow now.
Yeah.
So
Which
am I.
feeds new color theories.
Me too. It looks like the color wasn't the only thing that changed.
Yep. Also,
do
pairs
you
and
mean?
solos change as well.
It looks like our groups have
Oh.
changed too. I was a solo last round, but now it says pair.
Wait, really? Mine still says solo.
It looks like Luna and I both changed. Although I've gone from solo to pair.
I'm the opposite. Mine went from pair to solo.
No change here. Still a pair. I guess this must be magenta. Are you two magenta too?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Quark, Clover, and I are cyan.
I think Mr. K and I are pairs. And Miss Clover is a solo?
Looks like it.
When did they change?
Back when the AB gates closed. As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too. And of course, it's totally random. No rules or anything! Now, with all of that explained, I must bid you adieu. Sadly, we may never meet again.
What?
Well, there's not really anything for me to facilitate anymore. I mean, you guys are good from here, right? I'll never see you guys again.
Such a sad bunny.
Did you really think I was gonna cry? Nah, 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 nah. Suckers! As if I'd cry over you dummies! You mad? Anyway, good luck. I may be gone, but I'm always watching. Maybe I'll see you again someday.
Have a nice tragedy.
So that is accurate, by the way. You were pointing out, Vince, that Zero the Third has gotten a lot more screen time than Zero did in 999. Zero the Third shows up a lot less from this point on in the game.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. As far as I'm concerned, Zero the Third's the best character in this game so far.
That little piece of shit. If I could just get my hands on that little fucker, I'd squeeze him till he popped.
That sounds gross.
So what happens now? We've still got a while until the chromatic doors open.
We should go and see if we can find any other exits. Maybe there's a vent or a disposal chute or something. If there's a chance Zero missed something.
I concur. There's no point in standing around. We lose nothing by looking, and if we find nothing, we can always return and go through the chromatic doors.
Let's split up. 5 minutes would give us a good half hour or so. Let's meet in front of the chromatic doors 5 minutes before they open then. Any objections?
I'm fairly certain this is not a ransom.
Oh, yes. It's
Just the one time. She was the one who went after me. So now we get an actual explanation of the events of December 25th, 2028.
California desert.
Nope, that's not a flying car. This breaks my suspension of disbelief. Surely we'll have flying cars in 8 years.
I was promised flying cars.
I mean, it's more realistic than expecting the aesthetics of California to look like the East Coast in that many years. Especially the desert. This is what you get for driving a 400-year-old car.
Poof.
Oh no, I'm stuck being gassed in this car. I knew I should have gotten these bulletproof windows rather than the standard ones that are easy enough to break.
Hey, you had to watch out for hits on him from that politician after he slept with that politician's wife.
Just the one time.
Right. So where do we want to go?
Well, we already know it's in the crew quarters. We've been there before. Lounge?
Sure.
Oh, hey, Sigma.
Can I get you a seat? What do you want?
I'm wondering why you're standing like that.
That's a tough question, Clover. I don't know where she went wrong, but she did.
She's somehow more... Yeah, she seems somehow more mentally unstable than the last game.
Which is weird,
Can I
because
get
she
you a
actively tried to murder us in the last game, depending on what route happened.
Yes.
I turned 21
Or
just
actively
the other
did
day.
murder us, depending on what route happened.
But was actively murdered us, or
Why not?
went uncrazy because realized that her
Really?
brother wasn't
It
the one who
seems like
died.
this sort of thing is exactly what makes people want to drink in the first place. Sigma?
It hasn't gone away yet?
Are you alright?
What? The headaches? Now that you mention it, yeah, I did get one a bit ago. I feel fine now, though.
You know, I think I did have a bit of a headache earlier. Not me. No headaches here. Well... It's hard to explain. I just feel kind of weird. Your head feels weird? No. My body feels weird. Like my whole body. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like that, but...
Oh, if that's what you're talking about, then yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating. Like that?
Maybe it's because of the anesthetic gas. It might have looked like white smoke. The stuff they used when they abducted you.
We're actually in a VR simulation and haven't realized it yet.
It seems like we were unconscious for a
Wrong
long
game.
time, so it must have been pretty powerful.
There's a
stuff.
non-zero chance here.
Non-zero chance.
Well, it could be a side effect, or it could be that it just hasn't worn off completely yet.
Whatever. That's not important.
We have an
Right
AI
now, we
bunny
need to
rabbit.
figure out
Super
how to get
science is
out of
not
here.
out the window at this point. Assuming it's not lying about absolutely everything.
Yeah. Haven't really taken a good look at everything yet.
Well, everything about its own origins.
me if I'm wrong, Bograt. Do we get to see all the rooms in the in-between sections, or do we
Yes.
only get a certain number? Okay.
Oh, Sigma. What's up with your face? You look like you just saw a roach. Are you still angry? I didn't have a choice. I'm just trying to get out of here like we all are.
You know, it could have just all
It's
gone
not
out
what
at
I
the same
meant,
time.
and you know it. If I'd known for sure that you were going to choose Ally, then I would have chosen Ally too.
Easy for you to say that now.
What? Am I such a horrible person for wanting to get out of here? I have to get out of here. There's so many things I still want to do.
Like what?
Well, let's see.
Buy a shirt.
I want to wear lots of gorgeous clothes. I want to eat tons of delicious food and fall in love.
What an idiot.
Excuse me?
And I was going to take your side, but after that load of horse shit, you're on your own.
Thank you, crusty old grandpa.
Tenmyoji is one of the
Let
best
me try
characters
this
in
again.
game.
I'm frustrated, but there really is something important I have to do. Avenge my father's murder. That's what I have to do. No,
Man, this
I
is
couldn't.
cliche.
This isn't the kind of thing I should be telling people I don't even know.
Until I've avenged my father's murder, I refuse to wear shirts.
A shirt killed my father.
I have no idea as to why you're here. Your guess is as good as mine. But it's possible that his death is connected to my abduction.
If that's the case, then we're all connected to this, and any of us dying is
tracking
going
down
to
the
screw
people
your
who
ability
killed
to
him.
investigate your father's murder.
How close were you?
I can't say. But it's possible that I was getting close enough that they decided something had to be done with me.
They robbed my luggage at the airport.
I wouldn't really say I'm a detective. Not a bad guess.
I was getting close. They said there's something done with me. Rather than just getting rid of me, they locked me
Why
away.
are
in
you
a hidden
guys looking at
facility.
me
It's
like that?
It's a death game.
I didn't
Your
say
logic
I
is
was a
flawed.
detective. No. That's fine. In my line of work, the less I look like what I am, the better. Better I keep him guessing.
Hey, what's the deal with you and Clover?
What's she got to do with anything?
Well, you know each other, right? I was thinking maybe you were related or worked together or something.
No. She has nothing to do with my work. She's just a friend that I met somewhere. In the middle of a desert. Yes, but that's an awfully long story.
See, it all
And it's
started
certainly
with
not
this-
related.
It all
That
started
you
with
can
the
obtain
sister
for
ship with
$12.99
Titanic.
US dollars.
Yeah. Have you heard of the Gigantic?
Wait, hold on. Why am I the only person getting the 3rd degree? That doesn't seem fair to me. How about you guys give up a little personal information, too? We'll start with you, Tenmyoji. Who are you?
Just a garbage collector.
Any ties to Zero?
None.
What's your relationship with Quark?
None. No ties to this person we don't know
You
the
two
identity
know
to.
each other, right?
Wait.
Do I have to answer that?
Well, if you really don't want to, it's not like I can force you.
No. And I apologize, but I don't have anything to say about that subject. I mean, it's not like you told us everything either.
I see. Very well, then. Dio, it's your turn. What's your profession?
Well, you're
Circus
probably gonna
clown?
think I'm full of shit, but I'm a circus ringleader.
You're kidding.
Why are you people surprised?
Nope. I'm the real deal. I lead a company of about 50 people. We travel all over the world. It was my grandfather's grandfather who founded
If someone
it, but
shows up in that outfit and
my
then says
father
he's a
died
circus
at a young
performer,
age. I'm a 5th generation ringleader.
Yeah.
because there's
My
no
old man was a
other
trapeze
explanation
artist.
that makes sense.
He tried to do this
Costume fetish?
quadruple flip and missed. Well, I guess he wasn't really young. He was about 40. Still, he was pretty reckless for a guy that age. Always talking about how he couldn't let the kids show him up. Guess he just took it too far.
I see.
And this rich
You lost your
millionaire took
father
in
too,
his
then.
orphan, and then this guy named Robin started showing up. No
Yeah.
correlation between the two, I'm sure. Gotham's a hell of a place to work.
Guess I got a little sappy there. Anyway, point is, I don't have any damn idea how I'm connected to Zero.
Makes it all the worse when you find out that entire story is a lie because Dia's a dick.
I got grabbed on the last night of one of our tour stops. I'd gone out to a couple bars and gotten shit-faced. On my way back to the caravan, this black van pulls up. Somebody grabs me and throws me inside. Before I can even get a look at them, they hit me with that gas and I'm out like a light. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the AB room. Anyway, enough about me. We still haven't heard your story, Sigma. Who are you?
Are you some kind of doctor? I guess you've been working on that for quite a while, huh?
Can you think of anything that might connect you to any of this?
What about
Being
Zero?
a doctor in training.
I mean, he's getting a PhD.
He's going for
Yeah.
Dr. Rit, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily
Do any
mean
of the
anything.
people
You
here
get
look
a
familiar to
PhD
you?
in fucking whatever.
Granted. Do we actually know he's trying to get a PhD in?
Not anything that's been brought up, no.
yeah, he hasn't
Okay.
said anything yet about it.
Alright.
Just who is he anyway?
Oh, come on. You know he's full of shit.
You still don't believe him?
Of course not.
Amnesia isn't real. Lie
I
told
think
by
she's
the
a student.
government.
At night, she's a waitress or a bartender or something.
It's nothing. Just forget about it. Yeah, you're right. Boy his age would be in elementary school.
You really don't know much, do you? About Quark, I mean.
And if it makes you feel better.
Well, I know a little about Luna. I got her talking when we were in the infirmary. She says she's got some sort of medical license or something.
She's a nurse?
It could mean she's a doctor.
I don't know. She didn't say. Just going by how she looks, though, I'd guess nurse.
That leaves us with Phi. She's the most mysterious to me. What does a girl like that do?
You've been around her the most, Sigma. She told you anything?
Look, I just don't know, alright? It's just kind of there. Like, I looked at you, and some part of my brain just said, that's Sigma.
You sure?
I see. Phi is a
There's
gender
no
swap
point to
clone of
talking
Sigma.
about this. We should just focus on getting out of here.
I agree.
Where do you plan on going? I see. Right. Later, bro.
Oh, Sigma. Perfect timing.
You were in the crew quarters before, weren't you?
Did you find anything suspicious?
Like a secret door or something?
Anything else out of the ordinary, perhaps?
What's this book? A meow?
George's cat book that you would bring in?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm taking George's cat.
That's weird.
Look, I just
So I
talk
think-
like a cat sometimes, okay?
So what's the cat book about?
It's about George's cat.
Oh, yes, I've heard about that. A cat is put in a box with a device that has a random chance to release a poison which will kill the cat. That means the cat is both alive and dead until someone opens the box. Something like that, right? What?
No.
So it probably isn't gonna give us any hints then.
Don't mock me, child.
Or you're doing it too.
Make fun of my disorder! Smacks him with the book.
What do you mean? Well, this whole facility is pretty suspicious, but I suppose that's not what you meant. Well, the puzzles in the lounge were lunar eclipse themed. Yes. Apparently, there's supposed to be a lunar eclipse on December 31st, 2028. All the puzzles were related to that somehow. I suppose it is. Well, I can't say I know what year or even what day it is, but Clover was saying something to that effect. What about the infirmary, Quark? Did you find anything there?
Well, see, when the lunar eclipse happens, Dracula's castle reemerges.
Yeah, we did find something. Just one thing, though. Dio and Luna didn't tell you? Okay. I got it right here.
Yeah, your
Just a
wise
sec.
is pretty close to that, isn't it?
Radical 6 infection spreads. Cure continues to elude authorities. The Radical 6 virus continues to spread across the globe like wildfire. The World Health Organization has confirmed that the death toll is estimated to have passed 100,000 victims.
No, that clearly
quarantine
says
of
The
any-
Who, which I'm assuming is the band.
Immediate quarantine of any infected patients is strongly advised.
It seems a little hard to believe.
They recommended people wear masks, but no one does.
Yes, it does. If it is true, then I worry about what might be happening to the world outside. Is there a
infected are
pandemic
doing
raging on
kick
the other
quests.
side of these walls?
Always invert drives.
I see. We've had 2 years of our memory erased, and the world outside has been destroyed by everyone going crazy.
You've got it exactly.
Guys! Hurry! You need to come with me!
Has something happened?
Yes! I mean, sort of. I mean, we found something!
What did you find?
It's horrible! It's really scary! Oh, never mind! Just shut up and follow me! You'll understand when you see it. It's right over here in the net. Just follow me.
The spider! Oh.
I think it's a bomb.
You think it's a bomb?
Thank you, Sigma. Goodbye.
Hey, Hunter, we've discussed that movie, and myself, Shiv, and Krampus have come to the conclusion that it will all be okay as long as Tony Jaa flying knees a monster in the face.
Yep.
All other sins will be forgiven.
Is he in that movie?
Tony Jaa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Simon Jaw is the Monster Hunter character that actually appears in the movie, as opposed to all the soldiers from our world. You know, those things that appear in the Monster Hunter all the time.
Yeah.
And Hunter, it's not that girl from the Resident Evil movies. It's that director's wife who's in every movie he does.
Yes.
We need to tell everybody.
I don't remember if she was in his Three Musketeers movie.
No, it's all right.
Yes, if I remember correctly, yes, she was.
Luna's out rounding them up. They should be here in just a few seconds. See?
Where is it? Where's this bomb?
There. You see?
Yes, she was Milady de Winter.
Yeah, fair enough.
I knew I remember seeing her in there. Just couldn't remember what role she was playing.
I haven't watched it in years, so I've mostly forgotten it, thankfully.
Which movie?
The Paul W.S. Anderson Three Musketeers movie.
Ah.
Did they have nonsense like airships and whatnot in that movie?
Yes, they did.
Yep.
Doesn't look
Clearly
like it
just
has
comes
a
from the
timed
same
detonator.
timeline of films like Sherlock
Must be a
Holmes.
remote somewhere.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes,
Sherlock Holmes.
which culminates in a fight above the skies of London between Sherlock Holmes and a hot air balloon and a mechanical dragon.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. It'll probably use an active
The
button
Sherlock
or
Holmes
switch
story
of
no one
some sort,
remembers?
Not a dead
Correct.
man switch. If we can get it, we should be safe as long as we don't press the button.
Me and Luna. We found it while we were searching this room. Well, yeah. We looked all over, but we couldn't find anything there. So we gave up on the lounge and came here.
I can confirm that. I wanted to look around the lounge some more, so I stayed back. You guys must have found it when you got here then?
Yes.
How did you know it was a bomb?
Well, I mean, I could tell just by looking at it.
Why?
Well, during my train...
Clover.
Anyway, this is definitely a bomb. I guarantee it.
How do you know?
I just do, okay?
You sounded pretty sure about the switch, too. How do you know all this?
Let's just say it's an occupational hazard.
What kind of occupation do you have?
I can't tell you
Demolitions.
that.
Spare me the bullshit. This isn't time for keeping secrets.
Please, just trust me. Look, I know I'm repeating myself,
That's...
but I'm sure that's a bomb. And it's not just any kind of bomb.
Just trust me, the person who
Antimatter
specifically betrayed you.
Yeah,
Why
person
is it hard
who
to trust?
betrayed, then called us fools for not betraying.
Antimatter. Wait, you mean a bomb that uses annihilation energy?
Oh, you know what that is? Anyway, yes, you're right.
What?
See, in the sequel here, we're just glossing over all the weird
Anthill
terms.
Nation?
Yeah, sorry, give me a second.
I'm stuck in while you're grabbing a bite to eat.
Could you have not looked up antimatter? It's not that hard an explanation scientifically.
I would have thought you'd know.
That tracker has been updated.
Okay.
Huh? Why?
Well, your name is Quark. You do know what that means, right?
Yeah,
The
Grandpa
parents
told
could
me
have been
about it.
DS9 fans.
He said it's an elementary particle.
Yeah, especially
one of the
considering the
smallest
timeline.
bits of matter, but I don't really know anything else.
I see. Can you explain it to him, Tenmyoji?
Me?
Well, you know him best. I thought you could explain it best.
Let me think. I don't know. It's hard to think of a way to explain it in simple terms.
You want me to do it?
Yes, please.
Okay. To begin with, we usually refer to bits of matter as particles, but there are also these things called antiparticles.
You see, when a mommy atom and a daddy atom love each other very much.
You see, when
For
you
example,
die, we become
an
the
electron is a
particles in the
particle
grass.
with a negative charge.
The antelope eat the particles from the grass.
It has a sort of opposite, which is the
You see, in
antiparticle
the parts of
called
space that aren't
positron.
actually space, that have absolutely
It has a
nothing in
positive
it,
charge instead of a negative one, like the electron.
a positive and negative
So,
particle will come into
protons
existence,
have
rapidly collide with each
antiprotons,
other, and then stop
neutrons have
existing.
antineutrons. Antimatter is a general term that covers all the
I can be factually correct
antiparticles.
and sound incredibly stupid at the same time.
The thing that's interesting about antimatter is that because it's the opposite of normal matter, when they collide, they both sort of cancel each other out. When they cancel each other out, though, it releases a whole bunch of energy. That process is called annihilation. So, an antimatter bomb is a bomb that uses annihilation energy.
That's stupid. You're stupid.
Sorry. I don't really get it.
Oh. Alright, how about this? You've got men and women, right? They're kind of like complete opposites. What happens when you put them together? Well, if there were quantum men and women, then when you put them together, they disappear. Because their opposite elements cancel each other out.
Yeah,
that's not how that works.
Cancels out a minus.
Everyone
you
in
get
this
zero.
not only explains dumb concept, but they also have really weird analogies for
But when you get
explaining them.
annihilation, you also get
I know! A baby! Haha!
Exactly. In this case, the baby you get is the energy from the annihilation. It's not a real baby, of course, but like a baby, it's got all sorts of potential to do amazing things.
That's kind of a strange explanation.
You followed it, though,
I wish
right?
I had a screenshot of that. That's kind of
Like,
a strange
actually,
explanation.
I understood it before you did your explanation. I just wanted to hear your dumb
That
explanation.
thing under the bed is going to
Exactly.
be making a baby. Just
Right.
how big of a...
So when a man and woman get together,
Just how big of an
they annihilate
explosion
themselves
is it
and
gonna
everything else within 400 miles. Got it.
It's pretty simple, actually.
Then
Just
there's
use
a baby.
Einstein's E equals mc squared. The mass lost during annihilation will be converted to energy, so...
So you would take the total mass of matter and antimatter and multiply it by the speed of light squared. That should get you the amount of energy.
For example,
0?
Let's say that it has 350 milligrams of antimatter. That would mean there would also be 350 milligrams of matter, right?
So you'd have 700 milligrams total.
Yes. That means annihilation would produce roughly 63 trillion joules. That's about as much energy as the Hiroshima bomb.
What the? You've got to be kidding me. But there's only 350 milligrams of stuff in there.
Well, technically it's 700 milligrams since you have the matter and the antimatter.
That's not the point. We're talking about something that weighs less than a gram being equal to a bomb that weighed like 10,000 pounds.
Don't get so excited. I think I know what kind of bomb this is.
For those
It's probably
metric
using
challenge.
antihydrogen. There should only be about 25 micrograms of material in there.
That's less than 1,000th of a gram. So you'd only get about 45 billion joules of energy, right?
What does that mean?
About as much explosive power as 1 ton of TNT.
I mean, we're still all dead as dicks, but
Yeah. But it's probably not annihilating whatever the hell else is around us, if there's anything around us at all.
And how exactly should I not worry about that? That's enough to blow up a 10-story building!
True. But it's a lot less powerful than an atomic bomb. We don't know how big this place is. If we can get far enough away from the bomb, we might have a chance of survival.
Perhaps.
Right, so we need to move more
how
than
do we know
10
this is the
stories
only
away from this bomb.
What do you
I
mean?
mean, it really depends on your construction materials.
Look at it carefully.
That's
It's
A
got
10-story wood
an
house is going to take that
extent.
bomb a lot
Yeah.
less well than like a 10-story concrete building.
If the
So what you're
bombs
saying
are
is we need to
numbered-
find a lead refrigerator.
Oh, that makes 5 anything.
Yes.
Bomb number has been added
There's
to your
no way
troop
to know if this is the final bomb either. It could be a fourth, or a fifth,
Final
or
bomb.
I told you not to drop the bomb.
Drop the bomb on me, baby.
Anyway, we can't just sit here and do nothing. We should move it.
No! Don't touch it!
I'm not sure moving this is going to do us much good. At all.
What the hell do you think you're doing? Have you got a death wish or something? This bomb is here because somebody planted it. Do you really think they didn't rig it to go off if some idiot tried to move it?
Well, then what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Get away from it.
We'll just have to leave it be for now. Until we can find the detonator or figure out how to turn it off.
And you're telling us we should just prance off and ignore the incredibly deadly bomb that is probably gonna kill us all?
There's not much else we
Alternatively, we can stare at the incredibly deadly bomb that's going to probably kill us all.
Turn it off.
What if we poke it with a stick?
Well,
that would probably be counterproductive.
There is a way.
Then spill the beans, lady. How do we turn the damn thing off?
Bomb
There should be an emergency deactivation password. If you enter that password, the device should, well, deactivate.
Sure, let's go with that.
Right. Look again. You see it? Right here. There's a port. If we can find the password input device, we just connect it here. Then
we enter
the
password.
Password? No, that didn't work. Password 1. Do-do-do-do.
Who would do something like
The number
this?
requirement.
Bomb
Gets people
was
every
no
time.
idea. So we can
So this
figure
bomb
out
was in the
when
same
they
place
did
we
it.
previously investigated?
Yes.
Yes.
Was it actually
When you and
there
I
and we
searched
just
this room,
then you
we
just
didn't
didn't
find
call it
anything, right?
out, or
No.
it just suddenly appeared?
No.
It's not modeled
So
in,
that
but
means
it
the
is
bomb must have
totally
been
there.
planted after we'd left.
No, somebody planted it after we were done investigating the room.
Okay.
Yeah, that's literally
Just trying to
what they're
clarify
talking-
that
That's
point.
literally what they're talking about right now. Like, when you and I searched this room, we didn't find anything, so that means the bomb must have been planted after we'd left.
Okay.
I don't know about that. After we finished the AB game, we all split up. But if someone planted it right before then...
Oh, yeah. You don't know, do you? Before we went off to the 3 rooms, we searched the hallway. Everybody was all split up.
Yeah. Anyone could have come by here then. It would have been easy to sneak away.
You know,
Sneak away, go to
don't
the
remember
hiding
seeing
place
you
of this
around,
bomb, and then put it here.
what were you doing?
Your damn business.
Everybody aggressively ellipses at us.
I never said that.
Really? Are you sure? Back when we were in the AB room, you said you saw the moment when the bomb exploded.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Could you at least do them all at the same time?
Nope.
Impossible. There's no way that would get past Zero. And there's no way Zero would let anybody do something that would get in the way of the game going forward.
Unless it's part of Zero's plan.
What?
When you say Zero, you mean the AI, right?
Of course.
This is confusing. From now on, let's refer to the real Zero, the one behind all of this, as Zero Senior. Which would, of course, make the AI Zero Junior.
No, that's Zero the Third.
Okay, fine with me. Anyway, whichever one it is, they're not
Why
going to
are we
let a
referring to
10th
Zero
person
the
in.
Third
There's
as
no
Zero
way.
Junior? We have an actual name for Zero the Third.
Or alternatively, that fucking rabbit.
What's wrong with the rabbit? Best character in this game.
I don't
It
think it
is.
could be.
I can still refer to it as
Well,
the fucking rabbit
Zero Junior
anyways.
said so. He said that the real Zero was one of us.
Did he? Do we have a flashback for this?
No.
God damn it,
but-
where's where's Seven when we need him?
But yeah, Zero the Third did basically say that Zero was one of us.
Yeah, Zero said that, or Zero the Third said that Zero is one of us, and they were like, "But how would that work out? We're all here. They'd have to be controlling you." And that's when he was like, "But I'm an AI."
Yeah, technically speaking, somebody else, I believe it was... I don't remember who it was, but one of us said, well, Zero must be one of us, and then Zero the Third showed up and was like, hey, don't say shit I'm supposed to say before I say it.
Zero the Third actually... So, confusing aside, you guys are using masculine pronouns for Zero the Third? Was that actually gone over earlier, or...?
No, but canonically, I believe Zero the Third is typically referred to as male.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, even the original Zero, or the Zero from the first game was typically referred to as male, even though they ended up being female.
Yeah. Though, in fairness, it's kind of an assumed gender from how the voice was coming out.
This is bad.
And technically, since it's an AI, it would actually work.
Buttons on your bracelet.
We've got 4 seconds!
That's
well,
4
fuck.
minutes, but yeah.
We've only got 4 minutes until the...
Let's
How
go
long
then.
are these hallways?
You're right. This bomb thing is gonna
Pretty
have
sure
to
you could
wait
walk
till
there
later.
and die.
I have to ride an elevator.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep. Each of these corridors is actually 5 miles long.
Even though we've been in one of these rooms that have a good size comparison. The map is horribly off when it comes to scale.
No, it's just each of the hallways actually has a people mover conveyor going the opposite direction from whichever way you want to go.
In order to actually get it anywhere, you have to prop yourself between the 2 walls and slowly try to move across.
5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
The doors have opened.
We need to figure
This is
out
the
who's
most
going
hardcore
where and fast.
season of Ninja Warrior ever.
We don't have time to wait for you to figure it out. Just pay attention. I'm only gonna say this once.
We're going to explain all this stuff, which is really just going to come down to you making one of 3 choices.
Yep.
In other words, we have our one fixed partner and one of the optional partners for all the solos.
We need a system here, or we'll never have time. Why don't we let the people who are at the most disadvantaged, the people who only...
No way. We'll be fair and take a... Exactly.
So which one do you want?
Option C. I want to go with Sigma and Luna. My. Looks like... Do you agree with him, Luna?
I'll just let Sigma decide.
Fine.
I'd like option C too. Clover and I were a pair for the first round, so I feel that I can trust her. What about you, Quark?
That's fine with me.
So that's 3 votes for option C, counting mine. How about the rest of you?
I'd like to pair up with Sigma and Luna too.
I'm sure. I really don't mind.
Then we've got 3 votes for option B.
I'd like to go with option A. How about you, Tenmyoji?
I don't mind going with option A.
1 minute.
Which one do you want, Clover?
I want to go with option C. Quark chose Ally in the first round, and
Then that's what we're doing.
Yep, so we don't actually get to make this choice.
Ah.
In a strange turnabout.
Yeah.
10 seconds remain until chromatic Doors closed. 9, 8, 7.
The doors are closing. Let's go!
Chevrons are locking, Mother.
Right.
The doors are closing. For some reason, we take until there's only like 10 seconds left every time this happens.
Force drama.
2, 1, 0. Chromatic doors closing.
Feel the tension that we're just making up on the spot.
It looks like they're all locked, though.
Does that mean this is just a dead end? Try pulling it. Hey, what's with all this hostility? Are you still mad about the last AB game?
Please don't fight. We need to work together, or we're really going to be in trouble. Please?
It's fine. We'll just live here forever.
Very well. I'll pull the lever then. Is that okay?
Yeah, go right ahead. See if I care.
Do you really want to pull the lever? Welcome to Balm Garden.
But only one. I wonder how you open the other ones.
Who cares?
Pull the lever a few more
We should
times.
get moving.
Your lack of curiosity annoys me.
Nature.
Yep.
I doubt it. Look up. There's a ceiling up there.
It probably stands for something. Maybe beautiful?
This feels like a whole other little world.
I feel kind of weird saying this, considering where we are, but this place feels so liberating. All of this green. It's wonderful.
It's huge, though. We'll wear ourselves ragged trying to search the whole thing.
We should split up and look around.
Agreed.
Right. So who's going to dig up the entirety of the ground?
Seek a way out. But that will be for next time. Considering it's coming up on our normal stop time, and also I'm starting to have some connection issues. It looks like drops and frames. We'll call it here for now.
Yep.
Thank you all for joining us again on another Sunday afternoon SoundGoblin Storytime. We began Virtue's Last Reward. Join us again on Tuesday. You guys still playing through Alan Wake, or you finished that one up?
Yeah, we're playing through Alan Wake.
All right, so on Tuesday we'll be playing Alan Wake in the evening, and then next Saturday, still on Trails of the Sky.
Yep, looks like we're going to be concluding.
Maybe finishing it next week. Depends how long cutscenes take.
So the possible conclusion of Trails of the Sky second chapter. Next
Likely
Saturday.
conclusion.
Third week running, possible.
And then
Very
next
likely this time.
Next Sunday we'll be back here again at noon for the next part of Virtue's Last Reward. So once again, thank you all for joining us. I've been Bograt.
I've been the Krampus.
I've been Jim.
And I'm the once and future Vincent.
Have a good one, y'all.